But I think the development of full artificial intelligence will spell the end of the human race.
It's a flying object and we don't know what it is. I would hope somebody is checking it out.
I don't know if it was a rocket or whatever, but incredibly fast, opposite direction. It was too fast to be an airplane.
I'm glad the Pentagon is looking at this, because if it poses a threat, I want them on top of it.
Well, the craft generates its own gravitational field.
You said there's lights in the sky?
The internet has become the command center for criminals and terrorists.
911, what's your emergency? I need help, please help!
Aliens won't let it happen. You know, that's what we're instructed to say.
Roswell, Area 51. Alien kept deep under the ground.
1, 0,
self-serving. You're here for a reason. You're listening to Troubled Minds Radio.
Broadcasting live from a secret bunker just off the extraterrestrial highway. Somewhere in the desert sands outside of Las Vegas. From somewhere in space-time, loosely labeled Generation X on planet Earth. And asking questions of you in earnest into the digital darkness. Good evening and welcome to Troubled Minds Radio. Frog in my throat. And I'm your host, Michael Strange. And hello to all of you who may also have troubled minds. What's going on, guys? It is Monday night, and that's one of the nights we get together and talk about all the things we're not allowed to talk about. You know what those things are. Aliens, conspiracy, the paranormal, the government, academia, the 24-hour news cycle, propaganda, and the general feeling that we live in the upside down. And, well, Happy New Year. Happy 2022. And you may as well just begin 2022 with some wild ideas. I mean, the last couple years have really, in the conspiracy realm of things, the conspiracy zeitgeist, the conspiracy world, which, by the way, is just the real world. Just the powers that be don't want to admit it, that it's all just a giant conspiracy, and not everything, just let's say most of the things. Because if you say everything, you're a conspiracy kook, right? But that's not what I'm saying here. I'm saying there's a lot of conspiracies out there, most notably perpetrated by the mainstream media. And well, that's for a whole nother day. But well, that's for the news show probably. But in any case, what we're doing and what we get together and talk about is all of that stuff I talked about in the beginning there and more. And 2020, 2021, it saw some unprecedented things. And without the elephant in the room and dragging us down that path and that discussion, well, let's just say that a lot of the conspiracy theorists were correct. And whether they came about as a orchestrated plan or if this was all accidental conspiracy, if you catch my meaning, then, well, whatever it's got to be. So point being, the reason I'm bringing that up the last couple of years, the elephant in the room that we really don't ever talk about, is because well, we got a new year. And so everybody's making the jokes of the last couple of years, you know, like, did you have aliens confirmed on your bingo card for August, things like this? Well, those are the memes going around. And I think that as far as the new year is concerned, Well, we're going to make some predictions here. We're going to really go off the rails because we live off the rails on this show, drinking lots of the maybe juice and considering what the heck might be coming in the future. But so we're going to get there. Get your 2022 bingo cards lined up for the craziest stuff to go down, and we'll just start with this tonight. We'll start with invisible self-healing drone swarm robotics. That's what we're going to start tonight. We're going to kick off 2022. See what I did there? I'm going to do that a ton for the next couple of weeks. But so we're going to start off with the most ridiculous thing you've ever heard, and that was it. And well, not only that, there seems to be some science that suggests those things that I just described are possibly real. All right. So hang tight. We're going to get to that. And all right. So before we do that, though, I want to let you know this show it's less a show. It's more of a conversation. All right. We are on the radio and doing our thing, and lots of folks out there listening all over the world. And it's an amazing thing. But it is more of a conversation between friends. If you're out there listening, you're invited to join the show. Okay. And as we talk about this tonight, we have an open line, which we always do, several open lines actually, and an open Discord. If you want to join the Discord, go to troubledminds.org. And the phone number is 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037. And we'll put you on the show. Easy as that. The phone number and the Discord link are at the website, like I just mentioned, troubledminds.org. And there you go. Easy as that. Let's see. What else do we got? We're streaming on Rockfin, YouTube, D-Live, and Twitter. We are broadcasting live on the Fringe FM. And, well, let's see. Got all that out of the way. And how about this? Join the other Discord at fringe.fm/chat. I'm watching all the chats and doing all the things because I've got lots of windows open, and I'm watching the Rockfin chat and everywhere else. So I'll come say hi to you guys in a little bit here. But if you want to be part of the show, this show is basically the secret weapon of this show is you. And that's why I want to bring it up and why I want to talk about this, because it's not about, I kind of don't care what Fauci thinks. I care about what you think, all right? What regular people think. And that's why I think that this has become as successful as it is as we begin 2022, because it's not about having a UFO blog or doing this or doing that. It's about talking to regular people, and that's what this has always been about. That's what this will always be about, and that's that. So one more time, 702-957-1037, and let's begin, shall we? Let us begin. And I think again, grab your 2022 Doomsday Bingo cards, because let's see what's going to happen here, and we'll see what's going on with the Emily, which I'm about to ban right now. I'm about to ban Emily right now. All right, let's start here. This is from Haaretz.com, and yeah, you guessed it. Yep. We are live. All right, so check this out. The headline is this: iPhone, repair thyself. Israeli researchers develop futuristic self-healing nano crystals. Self-healing nano crystals. Yes, shout out to Emily Franklin. You're about to be banned. We get lots of spammers in the chat sometimes, so well, don't worry about that little guy. I got that little guy. So okay, this is where we begin, right? Now it starts to make you wonder. Right? Maybe. What does it make you wonder? Well, let's read some of this article, and you'll start to realize what I'm talking about here. This is again an article from Haaretz.com, and check it out. We tend to take it for granted, but the existence of life is one of the most breathtaking surprises of the universe. There isn't even a consensus among scientists as how to describe this phenomenon. What is it that distinguishes between one group of atoms, which is considered inanimate, and another such group defined as animate? Those are big questions already tonight, right? So it gets a little weirder than just that, okay? And let me explain. One of the characteristics of living organisms is what they are capable of, which is self-preservation. For example, when the skin is injured, the body knows how to heal the wound by itself. One of the more exciting fields of research today is focusing on the attempt to reduce the gap between animate and inanimate. You know what that means. Groups of scientists and startups around the world are working to develop self-healing materials. Success in this effort is expected to spark a revolution in the realm of industrial manufacturing and could have major environmental ramifications. Now, this is where it starts to get weird. Last week, a team from the Technion Israeli Institute of Technology, their Department of Material Science and Engineering, and its Solid State Institute announced that it has developed semiconductor nanocrystals that can heal themselves. All right, now here we go. I'm going to read that again. This team at the Technion Israel Institute of Technology developed semiconductor nanocrystals that can heal themselves. All right. You follow me? You with me so far? All right. Now this gets wild. Okay? Because, well, I'm going to take you down the Doomsday 2022 bingo card. We win just by considering that this might be a real thing. You'll see how all this ties together. But this got me thinking of a lot of things, right? That question about life, right? Life in general. What is animate and what is inanimate, right? We're still cellular beings. So are they. So are robots, or right, atoms down to the atomic level. We're different, but we're also the same. We're made of, by and large, the same chemical compositions in many cases. And well, what's the difference? What's the difference? Right? Back to that panpsychism and whatnot. Maybe everything in the universe is conscious. Who knows, right? But I think there's something with this in particular where we're talking about self-healing nanocrystals. All right, self-healing nanocrystals. And it sounds like, what does it sound like? It sounds like science fiction, does it not? It sounds like, it gets me thinking in terms of like the Sentinels or something from like the X-Men, right? Something to that effect where you're like, wait a minute. So not only do we have robotics happening. We've talked about drone swarms in the past. We're going to talk about them tonight as well, because there's maybe a connection between all of this, and well, maybe there's not. We're drinking the maybe juice anyway, so yeah, I'll let you make up your mind there. But the thing is this, right? If you have these self-healing nanocrystals, then that means robots can repair themselves. All right. That means instead of like needing some sort of mechanic or technician to come bring the toolkit and some extra parts and, fix the robots up. Well, if you cut the robot, it'll just heal right up, and it won't need a toolkit. It won't need to call one of its robot buddies. It won't need to do any of that, because guess why? That's right. Self-healing nanocrystals. Now, what the hell does that mean? Exactly. I don't know. Let's read a little bit more from this article. And as always, you can find my links in the description down below. So if you think I'm completely off the rails and making this stuff up, well, you got another thing coming. Check it out. Links in the descriptions. All right, so let's go. Let's read a little bit more about this semiconductor and nanocrystals that can heal themselves. Right back to this article. Okay. Also, taking your phone calls tonight. What are your thoughts on this as we begin? We're starting with self-healing robots. All right, these nanocrystals, semiconductor nanocrystals that can heal themselves, and they're talking about an iPhone repairing itself. Let's say you drop it, it becomes damaged, all right, and something like that, and this thing will actually just fix itself, right? It'll make the necessary repairs with sort of a self-healing nanocrystal material. So you won't have to do any of the old school stuff of fixing things. It'll just fix itself. So it got me thinking in terms of, like I said, maybe the Sentinels from the X-Men. What's another like sci-fi robot situation where the robots are self-healing? Can anybody think of something else where maybe a dystopian robot future is upon us, and we have robots that can heal themselves? I don't know. You tell me. I'm not very good with comic books and fiction and the rest of that stuff, but it certainly seems like Terminator. There you go. Singe Man's got it. Terminator. That's one of them, right? The T-2000, right, with the liquid metal. Yeah, exactly. There you go. Vision, says the Night Stalker. There you go. So there's a whole lot of this, right? In this like sort of dystopian future. It not only do we're always joking about our robot overlords, but then on top of that, now we're talking about in terms of maybe Skynet and things like this, right? And the Sentinels. Well, what about when these robots can start healing themselves and not even having to do anything, just the things they're made of will heal itself automatically, right? So you can't even like shank a robot anymore, not like we ever tried to in the first place, but let's say you did with, like a vibro blade, because, the old school switchblade ain't going to cut it. But you shank a robot, just theoretically speaking, and I don't recommend it, but if you did, theoretically speaking, then, well, maybe the robot would probably detain you, at least, at the very least, and a citizen's arrest, right, made by the robot. But then second, well, the vibro blade that shanked the robot, well, would be of no concern, because the robot would just heal itself. It would just begin healing, very much like, like Wolverine from X-Men. Except this is a frickin' robot. Okay, anyway, in today's world, we have to replace our consumer electronics, back to this article here, frequently, typically once every few years. The reason in most cases is reduced performance due to materials fatigue, a phenomenon that the manufacturers try to conceal. Quote, they claim, for example, that their product is long-lasting and that the need to upgrade to newer products is to support newer software versions, says Dr. Bekenstein. But the malfunctioning of materials is unavoidable, since every device suffers from degradation as a result of defects that accumulate during use over time. Entropy, anybody? Aside from the frustration of having to go out and buy new devices every few years, the phenomenon also generates a heavy environmental footprint, which obviously our throwaway culture and all the rest of that, since the recycling industry is struggling to handle the capacity of things we throw away. Okay, let's see. Professor Dan Oron, a researcher for the Department of Molecular Chemistry and Materials Science at the Weizmann Institute of Science in Rehovot, explains that, quote, every material used for making devices becomes damaged when it performs the operation for which it is used over time. The capacity of batteries declines, the transparency of the window lessens, all because of microscopic damage to the materials. How wonderful would it be if we could perform a simple process that would enable the material to repair itself, as is the case in biological systems. Solid materials, for the most part, cannot do that, but there are families of materials that are able to improve themselves through physical and chemical processes, right? Whether due to an external stimulus or a spontaneous process. It never works perfectly, but it does slow down the aging of the materials, all right? So if this is what we're talking about now think of this in terms of self-healing nano crystals, all right? There's some weirdness to this, all right? And it got me thinking in terms of all that, right? All the things you guys were saying in the chat there. Spider-Man suit, we got replicators, SG-1, yes, we got Vision, Transcendence, Terminator, all the stuff in the chat. Thanks, guys, for chipping in here. Movie Runaway, says Bernays Sauce, what's up? Let's see. There's a whole bunch of stuff here, right? So what's up, Brian in the chat says, my guess is it will be so expensive that it will mostly be used in space and other limited technologies at first. And that makes a lot of sense. Or, of course, as always, right, what has the largest budget the world over? What larger than like NASA and all the rest of them? You guessed it. The military industrial complex has the largest budget the world over, all right? Trillions of dollars the Pentagon loses in the name of defense. So, well, you tell me, what happens when you get something that's a hot commodity, can heal itself like these unkillable robots? What's up, Liam Martin? I see you there. Let's file this under how could this go wrong, right? My favorite question. Exactly right. But I mean, okay, so you do that, all right, and who's going to buy this? Even if it is, as you said, Brian, my guess it'll be so expensive. of course, the Pentagon will buy this, right? Even if it's in limited quantities. And yes. I don't know. So it got me thinking in terms of, all right, this sounds wild, right? We're talking about self-healing, nanocrystals, which seems ridiculous, okay? So we're thinking in terms of not just the actual mechanics itself, right? The mechanical stuff, the digital stuff, the chipboards, and all the rest of the stuff that they're going to create out of this, maybe the brain itself of these robots as they start to create them, right? Because everything starts with an iPhone, doesn't it? Everything starts with a cell phone. Well, we're going to incorporate this technology into, the iPhone so that it will be able to repair itself, right? Okay, so fine. That's all fine. I mean, that's good. Now your iPhone, instead of being $1,000, it'll now be $2,500. But hey, if you get an extra 2.5 months out of it, who cares, right? I mean, yeah, double thumbs up. We'll buy another one next year. But all right, this is my dig on Apple. Sorry if you're an Apple fan. But the thing is this, right? If this is the case and they start doing this, and we're talking about literally self-healing nanocrystals, then what do you think the next logical technology for them to put it into would be? That's right. Robots. That's what I thought. I was like, wait a minute. iPhones, sure. But why wouldn't you start instituting this in robots? And it led me down some rabbit holes. I started looking into self-healing robots. And you'll never believe this, but they already exist. They already exist without this new technology. So we've got a way of maybe keeping robots from developing premature Alzheimer's, if you want to call that robotic Alzheimer's. So there's that. And then we also have coming up an actual, self-healing robotic system that's already out there being tested. Okay. And like I said, as we begin, that's where we start. We'll get to invisibility and all kinds of crazy stuff later. But on your 2022 bingo card, make sure you have an open spot for self-healing, invisible nanobot swarms, because why not? Because why not? 2020 and 2021 has been pretty wild anyway. But what about this? We may as well take this as far off the rails as possible on day one of 2022 with Troubled Minds, because that's what we do. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this as we begin tonight. And do you think there's any other way we can take this further off the rails? I think maybe if we go full Skynet and sort of Terminator, and then we make these robots, these self-healing, invisible drone swarm robots, time travel. I think that's probably maybe one of the ways we could take this further off the rails. I don't have that built in tonight, but we can talk about it if you like, the Skynet implications of what this may mean or not. But again, if you want to be part of the show tonight, love to hear your thoughts. 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037. And there's a lot here, right? Like it's a strange thing that technology is making leaps and bounds, and it's a good thing, right? It's a good thing. And it's well, let's expect 2022 to be strange, extremely strange. And because, well, it just seems to be further and further off the proverbial rails. And don't forget to put self-healing, invisible drone swarms on your 2022 bingo cards. And that's what's on my mind tonight. What are your thoughts? As we get going, we're just starting to talk about this, but we got some time left and some time to hang out with you. So if you want to be part of the show, one more time, you know where to reach us. As simple as this: 702-957-1037. This is Troubled Minds. I'm Michael Strange, and I don't know. Drone swarms, invisible robots, self-healing robots. What if they all come together in one gooey DARPA program? Is it too much? Okay, just add time travel on top, because why not? I don't have it ready to go, but we can talk Skynet if you want. You tell me. Like I said, looking to hear from you tonight, 702-957-1037. This is Troubled Minds. I'm Michael Strange. Don't go anywhere. More invisible, self-healing drone swarm robots and you when we return. Be right back. Welcome back to Troubled Minds. I'm your host, Michael Strange, and we are streaming on Rockfin, YouTube, DLive, and Twitter, and we are broadcasting live on the Fringe FM. And tonight, we're talking about self-healing robots. That's right. An Israeli scientific team has created what is being called self-healing nanocrystals. And of course, being able to implement that into electronics. And of course, the next step would be robotics, because isn't everything, the next step of everything is robotics. Well, what if the robots can start healing themselves? And that's what we're talking about tonight. If you want to be part of the show, love to hear your thoughts. 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037. And we're going to get to invisible robots and drone swarms and DARPA tonight as well. There's a whole lot on deck here, but I can't help but think regarding invisible robots, self-healing robots, and the rest of this stuff, the drone swarms, that we're looking at, well, science fiction. And not just science fiction. Once again, what about the what comes next? What comes next? Is it the Sentinels from X-Men? What comes next? Is it the Borg, right? Where does this lead? And I want to know. 702-957-1037. Let's go to Joseph in Iowa. What's up, my friend? Welcome to Troubled Minds. How are you tonight?
All right. How's it going?
Doing well. What do you think? Do you think this sounds outlandish, this self-healing nanocrystal bit, or do you think that this is, well, par for the course? It's 2022 after all.
I think it's that's possible. Yeah, I don't think it's outlandish. It's with material. I don't know, but I was thinking like organic healing maybe could be done through like a sub brain, you know how the brain heals your body. Maybe you can. This is just me saying something, but maybe like you can harness like another brain that heals on top of your brain, basically. Not like another human brain. It could be any kind of brain that can collab or whatever.
Yeah, and I think that's the initial application of what they're talking about here. Is it's going to be used for something like that, like I kind of described it in the first segment there as sort of robotic Alzheimer's, right? So that they will degrade less. They'll be able to actually repair themselves on the fly and not be so kind of bogged down to the hardware limitations we have for normal stuff. But I like your idea there. So instead, right, maybe it's like a backup sort of situation where you could have two functioning parts, maybe even two robot brains, and you could shut one off entirely as it repairs itself and then leave the other one as a backup to kind of go, and you bounce back and forth depending on what you need, right? I like that idea. Good stuff.
Yeah, I was talking literally, like into like your brain, like healing yourself.
Okay, not a robot brain, like actual physical human brain.
Yeah, that would be like prolonged life kind of thing. Like you would get not even a human brain. You could use any kind of brain that would work, or like there would be some kind of organ. There would be another what do you call it? Organ that would be healing your body. Because like the brain only does so much, and it's limited.
Okay, all right, I like it. So you think that this is a technology they're going to be able to use for actual organics later, not just synthetics like we're talking robots here.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
It would probably be two different technologies, but same kind of healing, or it heals. But then I was also thinking kind of, this is kind of off the rails a little bit, maybe they would have like for like combat robot legs, and you would be a disposable body on top of the legs, and then once you go down, the legs return to home. And it would be like they would look at it like an evil society, or like, let's say Hitler and the Nazis are still there, they would look at that like a win, you know, we got the legs back. We got the data, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Like, and I think it opens up a lot of things. I don't know, like clearly, like as always, right? Technology is kind of on that razor's edge of, you know, it could be good, could be bad, right? But it clearly, if we're talking about, you know, robotics and helping people and that type of stuff, like there's no doubt in my mind that stuff can be a positive thing, all right? It already has been in a lot of cases. But then again, on the second part here, what if these robots, well, start being able to handle themselves, if you know what I mean? Handle themselves, and they don't need us as they become more and more, let's say, not necessarily self-aware, because we don't have to go there, but let's say more and more hands off. They don't need people as much anymore. They start kind of repairing themselves. I think that's kind of a wild idea there. But yeah, I don't know. So
progressing themselves.
Yeah, exactly. It's sort of leading maybe down that path of, you know, what is next in that singularity process of a robot becoming conscious and all the rest of that stuff. Pretty wild. But okay, so then, can you think of anything in like dystopian sci-fi or in like any kind of like maybe fiction? Like I brought up the X-Men with the Sentinels. Oops, just in terrible timing as usual. The phone took a dump. Let's see. Hold on one sec. Let me call this back. Sorry about that, Joseph. That is technology for you. So let's just dial this back in. And
Thank you.
Just one sec, and we'll be right with you, sir. Sorry about that. One moment, and we'll put you back on the show. Phone line's dying right when there's a phone call. Perfect.
On. Dual channel.
Okay, there we go. Called back in. Sorry about that. Joseph dropped the call. Okay. Sorry about that. That's completely unfortunate timing for the technology. And yes. So, okay. Let's see. What do we got? Sorry about that. 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037. And we'll put you on the show. Let's see. Liam Martin says, Species 8472 is where it leads, I think. The ones the Borg could not best. Uh-oh. Is that a spoiler alert? I haven't seen that one. Okay, so sorry about that. Let's go back to, we got James on deck. We'll go to James in just a second. But we're talking about this Israeli researchers developed futuristic self-healing nanocrystals. And of course, it's talking about healing electronics at this point. But imagine when we get self-healing robots that can not only heal themselves sort of at the structural level in their electronics, right? Because they're talking about using this on an iPhone. But then the next step, of course, would be actual self-healing robots themselves becoming impervious to damage and things like this, which we'll get to. Like I said, is already a thing in testing, and I'll show you that in just a little bit here. But okay, so sorry about that, Joseph. Let's go right back to Joseph in Iowa. Sorry about that. The phone dropped on you. Welcome back to Troubled Minds.
Oh. How's it going?
Good. So go ahead. You had some thoughts. Go ahead and finish your thoughts.
Okay, so hold on. Let me think what I was about to say. I think like an AI, if they wouldn't even need it to be conscious. They would put it in a power position because they don't want anything to happen with like, they don't want for control, you know, and safety. I could see it being put like as a president, even like president. Yeah.
Like says part of that transhuman future, right? So actually think of it in terms of that. Like if you used it with Neuralink, right? And so you attach this robotic thing into your brain, then this does become like you described when we first started, when you called the first time there. It's well, maybe it does. Maybe this is the next step of the transhumanist future. Who knows? I like where your head's at, man.
Yeah.
Looking at all the possibilities. Good stuff. What else you got for us, my man?
Well, that's kind of scary, Neuralinked into something though, like, and it would almost control your behavior and program you right and wrong, you know? Like, you do something bad that it doesn't like, that it's almost like a Bible at that point. They could program in a Bible for you and you're going, and there's really, once you're wired into that, I don't know.
Yeah, good stuff. Are you gonna be first in line to get a Neuralink, by the way?
No. I mean,
same here. Nope.
I would in the future. It depends.
Let's do the beta test on everybody else first and see how it ends up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. You're the best, Joseph. I appreciate the phone call. Thanks for calling back. Sorry about the dropped phone call. That it happens sometimes. Joseph here has a YouTube channel called Hydro Hose. Check it out. He does original music and some other things, sort of in the same vein of what Troubled Minds does, kind of considering the crazy world we live in and all the rest of that. So please check it out. Links in the description. Joseph, you're the best, my man. Thanks for calling back, and always a pleasure.
Alrighty.
Thanks, bro. Talk to you soon. Have a great night. There you go. Easy as that. Thanks for calling back. And that's what happens in a live show, right? Things break. The phone lines drop, etc., so on. So we're talking about this. We're starting here tonight. Self-healing nanocrystals. Again, it's in its infancy, this technology, and they just are kind of getting into it, all right? So that's one thing. But then, of course, drinking some maybe juice, you got to consider where this leads next. And what is next? Well, next is more robotics, right? More robotics. We're going to get into that in a little bit in the actual self-healing robot itself. But before that, we have a good friend on Discord. So let's go to him real quick. And you, if you want to be part of the show tonight, we're talking about this self-healing nanocrystals. We're going to get to invisible robots, drone swarms, and actual self-healing robots. So hang tight for that. 702-957-1037. Love to hear your thoughts. Let's go to James in Michigan. What's up, James Salcido of Salcido Paranormal? How are you, my friend? Welcome to the show.
I'm good. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear. Crispy. You sound good, man. What happened? Did you change some things, move some things around? You sound great.
Not really. Well, I mean, I did finally get that extension cord for my one device that I needed to unplug and plug back in, but then now it's plugged back in, so I have no idea why I did.
Okay, well, it sounds better than usual, so we'll just roll with it. Okay, so what are your thoughts here? We talked about the Sentinels a little bit. What do you think about this self-healing robotic stuff? Does it creep you out? What kind of things does it make you think of as far as comics and maybe fiction go as well?
Yeah, well, the thing is, it does the self-healing and then the swarm aspect of it. And, originally in the comics, the Sentinels do start out as giant human-shaped robots. That's how they started out in the comics. And they changed over the years because those came out in the 60s, actually, which is really interesting to think about that. These things, this idea came out in the 60s. But they started out as these giant machines, but later on they actually started to shrink down to being regular, like the size of regular people. And then eventually they did become nano. There were nano sentinels. I'm not as familiar with those as far as the stories go, but I know they existed, and I remember reading somewhere that they could actually infect humans. They could go into humans and turn them into sentinels.
Ooh, like the black goo.
Yeah, and so that's just another aspect of that. But yeah, so the whole idea of the self-healing and then the drones, that's going almost to the other extreme of the size spectrum there. But so I don't doubt that they can do this eventually. I mean, but the other thing about the Sentinels is in the comics is there's at least one group, and there's probably various groups at this point now, of these things that eventually they escape the control of the humans that made them. And they develop their own sentience, and they basically figure out a lot of things, including time travel. So it's very interesting that you kind of mentioned that earlier. So
yeah,
they really are a major force in the comics, now. So yeah.
Okay, yeah. So definitely, it seems like this is the first step into creating, I don't know, the Borg or the Sentinels or something like it, right? So interesting that it begins with the actual nano crystal, self-healing nano crystals, and then you said in the fiction there in the X-Men universe, it ends up, well, being nano bots themselves. Pretty wild. Yeah, I don't know. So is this the first time you heard of this self-healing robots? We're going to get to them as well. So not just like on like a sort of circuit board level, like fixing an iPhone, right, with like faulty electronics, but it gets even crazier with robots being able to actually repair themselves with polymer skins and weird stuff like this. Is this something you're familiar with, or is this like what?
Yeah, I've only heard of it in fiction, and even the invisibility thing is, I think, fairly new outside of fiction as well. I mean, there have been reports of different things being invisible over time, of course. More so in the paranormal realms, I think, in terms of different, beings or creatures or whatever. But the self-healing is definitely something new that I hadn't heard of outside of fiction. So, but it makes sense that they want to do that because then they can be operational longer and I guess cut costs in that way in terms of money and time. They don't have to be recalled when they get a dent in them or whatever.
Yeah, just they get banged up a little bit, a little actual repair action, and keep on trucking, right? I love it. That's what this is all about anyway. Let's do it, James. You and me can heal up. Why not the robots? Robot rights for everybody. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. But
yes, same here.
Yeah. Great first call from Joseph and great topic.
Thank you. We're going to get to the other weirdness too. It gets even stranger. So we got this other stuff happening, and then we get this. These robots can heal themselves, and it's awesome. This is from ScreenRant.com. We'll go to this one next. What else you got for us, my friend? James here has a podcast we'll talk about in just a sec. But any other thoughts here regarding maybe the Sentinels or any other fiction or comics you can maybe sort of give us a nod of what our sci-fi future entails here?
Well, it is interesting, the connection between, and that I hadn't thought of until now, between when I mentioned the Sentinels, figuring out time travel, that there's another species or being race or whatever you want to call it. But I mean, Star Trek, the Borg, they also figure out time travel and all that. So it's funny. I mean, if you could almost say that a lot of these fictional groups, they could all eventually just lead right into each other.
Yeah, right. It's like all the best science fiction, even from years and years ago. Like you said, the Sentinels. I actually had an article up on that as well. And the Sentinels, how they go way back to even the late 50s, early 60s. These ideas. Well, they're becoming prophets, right? Because this stuff is all coming true, which seems to be wild to me. But what can you do? I can't stop it, so we'll just talk about it and shake our fists like angry old men. How about that?
That works.
Yeah, that works. That's totally fine. That's all fine. All right, we got James here, a good friend of the show, good friend of mine, and he does a podcast called Salcedo Paranormal. He does paranormal stuff 5 nights a week, and you can find his link in the description below. Give him a follow. Give him some love. A very good dude and doing very good work out there. I appreciate the phone call, James. Thanks for all your amazing insight, and great as always.
Well, thank you, and thank you for having me and making me part of this community. I love it here. You are awesome.
Right on.
You included.
Thank you.
You're okay, but everybody else is awesome. You're all awesome.
Now we're talking.
Awesome.
Now we're in business. See, that's how you know we're boys. We always dump on each other. You're the best, James. We'll talk to you soon. I'll see you a little bit later tonight. Okay.
Yeah. Take care. Have a good night.
Thanks, bro. You too. Appreciate the call. All right. So we're talking about this now. Now let's go to this. Got a few minutes here before we got to take a break, and check this out. So this is from ScreenRant.com, and this continues, right? So this gets even more crazy. So we're talking about iPhone repair thyself. Israeli researchers develop futuristic self-healing nano crystals. All right, but then we go to this Screen Rant, and yep, this is from July 7th, 2021. This is from this year as well. These robots can heal themselves, and it's awesome. Yep, researchers in Singapore have invented a new material for use on soft robots that allows them to heal from damage, similar to how human skin self-repairs. The invention, which comes from scientists at the National University of Singapore, could enhance the ability of soft robots to endure many different working conditions while also cutting down on maintenance. It will also prove useful for the robots when they finally decide to rise up and overthrow human civilization. And of course, just kidding? Or am I? It says in the article here. It continues, while robotics technology has advanced at breakneck speeds over the past few decades, it's been increasingly clear that traditional robots with metal or hard plastic components aren't the best option for many applications. As a result, soft robotics is a field that is exploding in popularity, with experimental robot designs taking many different forms. More recently, the marriage of traditional robotic platforms and soft components has matured to the point where robotic hands can be equipped with soft pads that closely mimic the action of human hands, complete with a sense of touch that the robot can respond to. As Reuters reports, a team of researchers from Singapore has taken things just a step further by developing a soft polymer from that heals itself when it is cut. And back to my shanking the robot with the vibro blade. Well, so now not only do we have these nano crystals, right? These self-healing nano crystals. Now we've got these robots with like this self-healing outer skin as well. So make sure you don't miss. Here it is. It continues. Human hands can heal, but generic rubber pads on a robotic finger would need to be replaced over time. Artificially innervated foam, AI foam for short. That sounds terrifying, doesn't it? And let's see. Changes this in a big way. Described as highly elastic polymer, the material fuses itself back together when cut, mimicking the healing action of human tissue. And there you go. So these are both from this year. So the one from the nanocrystals, the self-healing nanocrystals, is from literally today or yesterday. This is brand new. And this other one, is robots can heal themselves, is from July of 2021. So it seems like this is a thing. And not only is it a thing, it's becoming more and more of a thing as more of this technology is discovered. And so the question I have tonight is, how far does this go? We're talking about robots, self-healing robots that can not only sort of heal their electronics on the fly, they can also heal their robotic flesh on their robotic hands. Like I said, if you're going to stick them with a vibro blade, make sure you don't miss, because they'll at least detain you, and it could be worse than that. What are your thoughts on this? Does this creep you out? Is this really taking us into that Terminator future with the T-2000 and all the rest of this stuff? I don't know, but, well, let's hope the technology is used for good. That's what I'm talking about. Do you want to be part of the show tonight? Love to hear your thoughts. 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037. This is Troubled Minds. I'm Michael Strange. Don't go anywhere. More invisible, self-healing, drone swarm, invisible robots when we return. Put that on your 2022 bingo card. Be right back. Don't go anywhere. We are talking about the alien abduction phenomenon.
The aliens are looking through your eyes and they're accessing your optic nerve. I'm doing fantastic. And through that optic nerve, they're transferring to your brain. People are random images as they traverse neurons in the brain.
We got, all right, so maybe,
and they also feel them planting or receiving memories or ideas or images.
the extraterrestrial highway. Somewhere in the desert sands outside of Las Vegas. From somewhere in space-time, loosely labeled Generation X on planet Earth. And asking questions of you in earnest into the digital darkness.
Good evening and welcome to Troubled Minds Radio. I'm your host, Michael Strange, and hello to all of you who may also have troubled minds. What's going on, guys? This is one of the nights we get together. It's Monday night. We do it Monday through Thursday, 7 p.m. Pacific. And what is it we do? Well, we talk about all the things you're not allowed to talk about, and you know what they are. Aliens, conspiracy, the paranormal, the government, academia, the 24-hour news cycle, propaganda, and the general feeling that we live in the upside down. And tonight, we're talking about self-healing robots. Well, it goes deeper than that. What about self-healing nanocrystals, self-healing robots, invisible robots, drone swarms, and you? That's what we're talking about tonight. It gets wild. It gets wild once you start going down some of these rabbit holes here. And this stuff is real, though. Like a lot of the things we talk about on this show, it seems like science fiction, but it is real technology. Crazy stuff. So what we're doing, as always, is we crowdsource this show. We want to hear your thoughts because the secret weapon of troubled minds is you. That's the whole idea of this. Like I said, it's always been more important to me to hear what just regular people are thinking. Just regular people. I'm a regular person. You're a regular person. Let's get together and have extraordinary conversations. That's what this has always been about. So if you want to be part of the show tonight, we're going to keep on talking about these robots as we get to invisibility, as we get to self-healing robots. We're going to get to the robotic swarms, Darpa, and some other things. But if you want to be part of the show, 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037. And we'll put you on the show. It's as easy as that. We've had a couple great calls so far with Joseph and James that kicked us off tonight. But we're looking to hear your thoughts. Now, what about these maybe Sentinels from the X-Men, self-healing robots, things like this that they build? Now, interestingly, this is where this gets a little dark. Now, the Sentinels in the X-Men, right, they actually have a sort of a, what would you say? So the mutants are persecuted people, all right, in the X-Men, the Marvel comics, all right? So the X-Men are mutants. They're genetic variations that give them powers, all right? Everybody knows this if you're into comics at all, even in the slightest. But the crazy part is, so they created these Sentinels, these robots, these not only self-healing, but also robots that were able to use all kinds of different powers. They had super strength. They were able to shoot lasers out of their eyes, things like this. Like all the normal stuff you would expect from, like death-like robots from the future. But again, like James said when he called in, these Sentinels were actually invented way back in the late 50s, even early 60s in the Marvel comics. And so it's not a new idea where you have these sort of juggernaut-type robots that can self-heal, and we'll get to that in just a second, describe what the self-healing is like. But it gets even more weird once you start considering that this stuff is now becoming real. In that, not only do we have this article from, of course, this is where we began tonight, from Haaretz.com, and iPhone Repair Thyself. Israeli researchers develop futuristic self-healing nanocrystals, all right? So in recent years, scientists have worked to create materials that can repair themselves in order to deal with the swift degradation of devices we use at home. A discovery by Dr. Bekenstein and his team at the Technion could pave the way there. And this is what we're talking about. So self-healing nanocrystals, and what that is it's a way to heal basically the electronics, the technology. All right. So in a sense, like I described previously tonight, is that it's sort of like staving off robotic Alzheimer's, the degradation that comes with just regular circuit boards and chips and things like this. OK, which is fine. That's good. It's hard to argue with how that's going to be a bad thing. OK, it means in the long run, we're going to throw away less stuff and, keep our stuff longer. So, OK, so that's good. All right. However, what if that robotic Alzheimer's that's the stop loss to the fact that we have robots marching around telling us what to do? Our robot overlords, as it were. So then it got me thinking in terms of, okay, robots that can heal themselves, okay? Now, they're only talking about it in this article in the capacity of an iPhone, but it starts to get real weird when you see that this article from Screen Rant, all the way back in July of 2021, again, just this past year, a mere 6 months ago, these robots can heal themselves, and it's awesome, this says, right? So this is where it takes us, right? You start thinking in terms of, okay, so now we can self-heal the electronics with these nanocrystals, these self-healing nanocrystals, but then we have the robots themselves that can actually heal their own, what would you say, flesh, right? Their own, would you call it flesh? If the robot had this like flesh-like substance, what would you call it? What would you call it? So it gets even more wild, right? As this goes. So then these robots can heal themselves not just on the sort of the basis of their technology, but then also on the basis of their robotic flesh, whatever you want to call that. Seems weird, doesn't it? It seems weird. But okay, so there you go. Allison's got it right. What's up, Allison, in the chat? What if we are self-healing robots? Exactly. And as always, looking to hear from you guys. What are your thoughts on this? 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037. We'll put you on the show. I think there's a lot here that's pretty wild, all right, when you start to consider where this leads. And again, is it the T-2000 from the Terminator series? Is this the Borg? What is it? Is this the Sentinels from the X-Men, like James described, how this is going to actually turn into maybe a nanotechnology, nanobots being able to heal themselves at a structural level, including their electronics, right? I think there's a lot here. There's a lot here to think about and talk about. What's up, Kelly, over there on Rockfin? I see you there. How you doing, buddy? Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We got, looking here from you again, 702-957-1037. Let's go to our good friend Dre. Dre on Discord. Welcome to Troubled Minds. You're on with Mike. Are you there? Test 1, 2.
Hey, can you hear me?
Loud and clear. How are you tonight?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Oh, very well. Just drinking maybe juice and talking about crazy stuff. I'm living the dream. All
right, man.
Right? Absolutely. What are your thoughts on this tonight? This whole self-healing robot thing. What does it conjure in your imagination?
Oh, lots of things. That's why I called in. So there's a spiritual concept of being able to connect to your higher self or your energy body, or really like the field that makes you. Since we're all frequencies kind of vibrating our own unique, I don't think the right word is sequence, but if we're all vibrating at this unique, in this unique energy field, right? Connecting to that higher consciousness, connecting to that energetic field, which is electricity, right? Holding us together. If we can connect to that kind of reminds me of this nanotechnology of nanobots healing themselves, because in order to heal yourself spiritually, you need to connect to your energy body, which is what's above you, what's holding you together on an atomic level, which is just electricity. In that sense, it reminds me of that same spiritual concept. Am I making sense right now?
Yeah, no,
sorry.
No, you're making sense. I think the thing is too, I like the way you're framing this in the sense that when you talk about robotics, as Allison in the chat mentioned as well, what if we are the self-healing robots? And so there's this resonance to us that is divine, right? But, well, what happens with when you cross the line and start talking in terms of robots or something else? I don't know. I think you're spot on here. As usual, way above my wavelength of thinking, because you're way smarter than me. But which is okay. It's not a competition. It's okay to be friends and just talk and get the ideas out. But the thing is, right, so I like where you're headed with this, and you're making sense. So don't think you're off the rails. And if you are off the rails, you're in the right place. So no problem at all.
What is the concept of robotics except for beings moved by electricity, right? That's what we create. That's what AI is. It's powered by electricity. That's what we are. our bodies are literally powered by electricity. We're literally a bundle of just a giant cloud of atoms held together by this electric field. So if you want to go on it like in that kind of route, then this breakthrough in science, this nanotechnology about crystalline forms healing themselves, well, how the hell is that different from what all the spiritual teachings have taught us? In that, in order for us to heal ourselves, in order to heal our physical body, we must connect to this higher self, this energetic body self that is what's controlling our own energetic field of atoms just living in this 3D world.
Well, exactly. And then it also brings up a few other questions regarding what is life even? I mean, so if we're talking about like at a structural atomic level, that these robots or whatever you want to call them, right, these entities, even though they're sort of not smart yet, doesn't mean they're still not alive. I don't know. Like there's a whole lot here that just kind of makes you scratch your head a little bit, right? Like, so we are those self-healing robots, are we not?
In a sense, yeah. If we can bring ourselves to connect to our energetic bodies, then yeah. What's stopping us from being these self-healing robots? I mean, let's think of the concept of shadow work. In order to heal your own shadow, in order to heal what you've hidden from yourself, you have to connect to what's hidden from you, from what you've hidden from yourself. So that's literally just connecting to all the different layers of our electronic resonance, accepting them as part of ourselves, and then healing what's broken within those in order to heal ourselves in the physical world. Like, this is where Reiki comes in. Reiki healing is energetic healing. It's literally electricity flowing from the energy healer into the patient. It's healing ourselves at our different chakra points, at our different energy, power sources that we all have within us, within our energy body, in order to move forward on a spiritual path. So all of this kind of, it makes me laugh a lot of the time when I see a lot of these scientific breakthroughs that just keep proving spiritual points. Like what the ancients have been teaching us for thousands of years, that everyone's just written off as nonsense, it just keep coming true the more we dig into science and proving that these miracles are miracles, but we can understand them better the more we dig into science and technology and kind of understand the world around us.
Yeah, the old nothing new under the sun, right? Like we've even talked about back in the day. There's some Greek mythology where they described like on the island Crete in the Mediterranean, like a robot running around throwing rocks at people that went by on the ship. I mean, there's like, it makes you wonder, right? Makes you wonder if all this stuff is. I don't know. It does. I appreciate your take on this too, because when you talk about robots in the sense that maybe we are those things. I don't know. How did this all begin and where are we headed, I guess? So I guess what do you think in terms of how this goes? What's the next step for this transhumanism and robotics and the rest of this? Do you think there's something we should be alarmed for, afraid of? Or do you think this is just the next step of evolution that maybe we've already done in the past? Who knows, right?
What would make sense to me is that the more we understand about ourselves through technology and through research and through scientific study, is that we are organic beings. We are not the AI built into robots that they want us to think we should be. Because going back to what I said before, right? If we're all just a collection of atoms held together by electricity, then technically we already are the AI that they're trying to build out of material things. Instead of focusing on the material world, instead of focusing on the things we can touch and feel, we need to study more into our energetic selves, our energetic bodies, our spiritual selves, in that we're not limited by this 3D plane. We can do and go anywhere we want to in our spiritual and our energetic bodies. That's what would make more sense to me. The whole push for this whole transhumanism thing about putting our consciousness into another form of AI, it just seems like repeating what we're already doing. Because you are not your body. You are your soul or energetic self inhabiting a body on this physical plane. So why would we need to take that already mecha type situation with energetic body controlling the physical body and then put it in another physical body? That seems just redundant to me. it seems like it would make a lot more sense for us to just explore this whole consciousness phenomena of how we're able to live in this 3D world as we do now, and then continue to move forward and explore space and explore other worlds and explore other dimensions through that venue, than trying to put us into a physical creation of metal and wires or whatever it is.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree 100% in that we are electrical beings, aren't we? I mean, all of that if you take exactly what we are, remove the electrical impulses, we're just mud, right? We're literally nothing.
We're literally just a bunch of atoms that can't touch each other, because even on an atomic level, the atoms don't touch. There's an electrical barrier around each one. So you even touching your own fingers right now is not you touching your fingers right now. That's just your brain interpreting the signal between the electric fields of the atoms touching themselves. So if I can't even touch my own fingers, why would I ever believe that my consciousness can be put into a robot, into something man-made of metal and wires and electricity and all this other bullshit, when that's literally already what I am? I'm going to stay in what I am and then evolve higher from that thing. Because we don't incarnate here for no reason. There's a reason for it. I just don't think transhumanism is the route that we're meant to take. I think we've been avoiding our whole spiritual nature for far too long. We've disconnected ourselves from that part of us and from the part that we should be recognizing as a part of the earth around us. Like that, if we can connect to the energy of the planet, man, we could do fucking anything. Sorry again for cursing.
Whoa.
We can literally...
You're killing me, Dre.
I'm sorry.
Frickin' and BS. That's how we get around this. We can still wave our fist and howl at the moon. We just gotta hedge the words.
Sorry.
You're good. All right.
I'm sorry. I have my own juice right now. My bad.
All good.
But once we lose that connection to the world around us, once we lose, it frustrates me the most, I know I've said this before, is that once we lost our curiosity about the planet around us and everything around us and trying to understand the trees and the animals and the land and just all of the things, once we lost that curiosity, we lost our connection to the planet, to Earth. Once we can regain that connection, then I think that is where human consciousness is meant to evolve, is meant to move forward, is meant to move to a higher plane. I don't think robotics and AI is the way to go about it. However, that is something that we can touch, that we can feel, that people are focused on, because this is a materialist society. That is not something that I think is natural in the human experience. I think that's just something we've been programmed to believe is what we should do, instead of just living by the natural law.
Yeah, 100%. And it is, I love your take on this stuff, because it is, I think we are those robots. I think in the most literal, basic sense, we are. And we hate, we hate to kind of boil it down to that. But I don't know. I think there's more to it. It's like you said, you remove the electricity, we're mud. But then, what about before that? What about after that? Where do we head from here? I think there's a lot to this, and I think this is worth thinking about and talking about, which illustrates why you create a radio show where you talk about whack stuff. Because here we are. Here we are doing it.
No. Isn't this the great question that all the great ancient philosophers have ever pondered? You know what I mean? Like, what is life? What is this supposed to be? Like, what is this? What are we meant to do? You know what I mean? And I feel like back then they had more of a connection to the natural force. If you want to go Star Wars with it, the Force, with that Yoda was all talking about. Connect to the Force. You do or do not try. You know what I mean? Connect to the Force, connect to the land around you, and you'll understand more secrets about the universe than you ever could through logical thinking or science or all these other things. Now, science and technology can bring us to a greater understanding of our natural world. However, that's not the avenue that we need to rely on to understand our human experience, because science can't explain everything.
No, exactly. And I think, again, it's a fallacy. Just like kind of putting all your eggs in one philosophical basket is a fallacy as well. Like, just because you think one idea explains a lot, it doesn't explain everything. And so that's why we got to be diverse. We've got to be into technology. We got to also be wary of technology. We have to be into ourselves, but also wary of ourselves, of our ego, of all the rest of these things, right? As everything, there's always a double-edged sword, no matter what you're talking about. And you are amazing. Always great stuff, blowing up brains and getting the black goo flowing, as Jay's saying in the chat. We're running out of time here. Got another minute or two. So what's your final thought on this? Is So regarding these self-healing robots, where does it lead in the next, let's say, 10 years, 20 years? Is this like the Terminator future, or do you think not at all?
I think that really depends on what route everyone wants to take. Are we relying on the people in charge to make these decisions for us, or are we relying on our own decisions to move forward? If we're relying on the people in charge, well, they're going to keep us focused on the materialist world. They're going to keep us focused on what we can touch, what we can see, what's been, quote unquote, proven by science. However, if we search within ourselves, I think what we'll find is our true path is using this new understanding of being able to heal ourselves into moving forward and out of the society that's been taught to us, that's been forced onto us, into a greater understanding of why we're here.
Like you said, the age-old question of the philosophers. What is life and why are we here? We're going to keep talking about it. Dre, you're amazing. I appreciate you chiming in here. As you know, you're welcome back anytime, and blowing up brains. I appreciate it so much.
Thank you so much, man. I'll keep listening, but I might be passing out soon. Okay.
All right, cool. Sleep well. Happy New Year, and look forward to talking with you in the future.
Happy New Year, man.
Thanks a lot. You too. That's Dre. Great stuff as always. Blowing up the brain here in the terms of all the things, right? All of the what about consciousness? What about life? What about where are we headed? Matt in the chat says Dre is my spirit animal. There you go. Hey! Don't call Dre an animal. That's not nice. But yeah, pretty amazing stuff. And I think that's the question. What is life? This is philosophy, and I think that's what a lot of people don't get. So some of the detractors of this show is we're talking about life in terms of what it is, life in terms of where we're headed, where we came from, and where we're going. And I think there's a lot to it. And again, oddly enough, a lot of what Dre was saying there is that we need to look inside instead of looking outside. And there's a lot to that as well. And I couldn't agree more. Too much good stuff there. And it's all good for me. As always, looking forward to hearing from you guys, because you see the quality of callers we get on this show, and you're invited, of course, if you want to be part of the discussion tonight. We're talking about robots. We're talking about, well, these self-healing robots. We're going to get to the invisibility and the drone swarms and all the crazy stuff you would expect out of 2022 coming up. But let's add another wrinkle to this. What are robots at all? Are we the robots? And if we are, what does that even mean? 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037. This is Troubled Minds. I'm Michael Strange. Don't go anywhere. More invisible, self-healing, drone swarm robots and you when we return. Be right back. Welcome back to Troubled Minds. I'm your host, Michael Strange, and we are streaming on Rockfin, YouTube, DLive, and Twitter, and we are broadcasting live on the Fringe FM. And tonight, we're talking about self-healing, invisible drone swarm robots. Yeah, that's right. And we'll get to the rest of that in just a sec. But the thing is this, right? Great call by Dre there, by James, and by Joseph to kick us off. I appreciate that very much. The question is, we can add this to the list of questions tonight. What exactly is a robot? Could we consider ourselves or even qualify ourselves as a robotic entity? Well, I guess it depends on who you ask, and that's what we're doing. We're asking you, and as you know, this is not the answer show, this is the question show, and that's the question tonight. So not only what is a robot, but what about the future? What about the future of robotics? And of course, we've got this, right? Just a couple things here. The let's see, in order to deal with the swift degradation of devices we use at home, a discovery by Dr. Bekenstein and his team of the Technion could pave the way to developing futuristic self-healing nano crystals, all right, which would self-heal at sort of the molecular level, all right? That's what I'm talking about here. But then we have this stuff. Kelly pointing this out, that this sort of technology, the actual physical technology, has been around for quite a while, in that these robots can heal themselves, and it's awesome. This is from Screen Rant, and it means that they have sort of this polymer type flesh-like skin that if they gets cut, they're able to actually just put themselves in, well, whatever they want to put themselves in. You shank them with a vibro blade, and well, they just heal right up. And that's what's a little bit weird tonight, right? That's a little bit weird. I don't know. What are your thoughts on this? Where is this headed? And again, some great questions and ideas there from Dre as well just before the break. Is that when you think about robots and electronics, aren't we electronic? Which means in some sense, right, we got circuits and electricity flowing through us, and the atoms aren't even touching each other, and we're all made of empty space, but it's all held together by that electricity. And so robots are very, very different, but they're also, in the same sense, very, very similar. So looking to hear from you one more time. What are your thoughts on this? What do you think the next 10, 15, 20 years looks like regarding robotics and the rest of this? 702-957-1037. Let's go to our good friend Joe in Florida. Welcome to Troubled Minds, my friend. How are you?
Not too bad. How are you guys doing?
Doing A-okay. Just talking about weird stuff, man. Living the dream. What do you think? What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, I missed a little bit. I think it's great. I missed a little bit of it, but listening to Dre in the last call, definitely. I mean, are we robots? If we had to, define it or put it in a definition, I would say to some extent, yeah. Because an example of that would be we can hook up things to people's brains, and we can see the readouts on a computer screen. So right there, like Tesla says, Elon Musk, they want to have some kind of brain implant. The other thing that kind of popped into my head, I don't remember too much of my chemistry, but I remember in high school chemistry, carbon and I believe silicone are one of the few elements that can bond to other things and possibly be used. I mean, carbon is, but silicone being, I think, possibly being able to be linked to DNA. I know if you Google that silicone, if you just put that in there, silicone-based life, it is a big thing in science fiction. Kind of goes back and forth, but if crystals are self-repairing and they're made of silicone, I would tend to think they could self-repair. Crystals grow, they self-repair. We know that. Maybe that could be harnessed later on in robots and machines, again, to be self-repairing. Maybe it's not a bad thing. If it was able to be figured out how to repair us, but those are all ethical questions when it comes to nanotechnology and focused medicine, I guess. The thing that I start to think about, matrix-wise and all of this, is, in my mind, if I had to play this out, let's say we evolved from robots, the other way around. We evolved from robots because maybe robots couldn't do the work because robots wore out. And we evolved from robots. Why I don't think that's true is because the rest of the world that we live in, as far as we see, is living and breathing, not metallic, not so much silicone, even though we live on a good rock. Everything is carbon-based, I guess, would be a better word for it. I would think that we probably came first. And we're here and we're trying to create these machines, and we have this conversation a lot, and it's always a great conversation because it's all the ethics behind it and the definitions behind it.
Yeah,
So,
things are
my
so.
thoughts. They're pretty simple tonight.
That's okay. That's okay.
Go ahead.
Things don't always seem to be cut and dry with some of these definitions, right? Like, again, we were just kind of like using robots as the premise, and then Dre calls and blows up everybody's brain, and just questioning what a robot is, right? Just some of those like fundamental questions that we kind of gloss over and don't really give the time they deserve, when there seems to be a lot there. What does all that mean? And yeah, pretty hot stuff. Had you heard of these sorry, go ahead.
No, I mean, it's true though. I mean, when she says that, you think about like your body. If you, I believe, have a lack of sodium, your heart could go out of rhythm. I pull pacemakers. I'll pull a pacemaker out of the body. The battery in a pacemaker can last 10 years plus. And what does the pacemaker do? What does the battery do? So you're literally powering a human body with a pacemaker, because if that pacemaker wasn't working, that body would have less of a shelf life. It's a great thought. I mean, as far as the definition, we are machines. I think a lot of us, during the conversation, she brought it up. I think we neglected to look at that right in the mirror. I would have to say that's totally obvious. Now, whether we came from machines, I always go to that Battlestar Galactica thing. This has happened. It's all cyclical. That's always been a question. And then the other thing is, why is it always been a question? Like you mentioned, the automatons, Da Vinci, all of those things, just like in the show Ancient Aliens, it always seems like we've been programmed or born maybe with this curiosity towards something else. It's almost like we've been programmed with the clue that we just can't figure out or put our fingers on.
Right, and there's this fascination too with not just, like you said, Da Vinci and the automatons and all the rest of that, is that we've been kind of aspiring to this for thousands of years, right? Like in that, the basic question of what is a robot, right? And so you would expect that in the old days, the ancients would believe through philosophy that you're able to create a robot and grant it consciousness somehow. But what does that even mean? Like there becomes, again, like so much in that conversation just with the consciousness aspect, with what a robot is and all the rest of that, the electricity that we're talking about that holds it all together, the force, like Dre brought up, is perfect, right? Like like Yoda said, right? It binds the galaxy together. Well, is that what's happening here? I'm not trying to go all electric universe, but it certainly seems that if you remove the electricity from the universe, it would be dead, wouldn't it?
Of that, there's no doubt. I think we're a projection of the TV. I always picture the universe like somebody turning on a CRT, an old cathode ray tube TV. When you turn on the TV and the picture just kind of, it had to warm up and open up. Like the TV was having its own big bang so we could see that picture on the screen. That's the way I picture the universe. And, if you go that deep, I mean, subspace, all those things, there's a frequency running behind it. I mean, we have to know this. There's something that's running behind this veil, behind whatever we're seeing right now, this hologram, whatever you want to call it. What's funny about is a lot of these conversations, it almost seems like we always come full circle. We have different subjects, but we always come full circle on a lot of things, which is kind of comforting.
Yeah, there's certainly,
you have left.
Yeah, I agree. There's certainly a lot of elements that basically kind of come back to us because we're humans, right? Like we're back to that whole human experience and that whole thing. And I agree with you. It's like even if you kind of challenge yourself and get yourself out of that comfort zone, at some point you're grounded in what you are, grounded in that human experience. And I think that's what brings us all back, right? Maybe it's to our detriment at some point, but I think it's also, like you said, it is a comforting thought that, hey, you know what? We're all locked in this together. We're all on the same ship. We all should be pulling the rope in the same direction. And, well, unfortunately, that's not the case all the time, is it?
No, it's not the case. I mean, the other thing, the last thought that I would be is we're the perfect, going with Trey said, we are the perfect machine. Just because we might make an AI that might think quicker than us doesn't always necessarily mean that it might be smarter than us. I guess, you get into that logic and emotion, it's a slippery slope. But a machine would wear itself out. When you watch, the biggest thing that comes to mind is WALL-E. We've all seen WALL-E. WALL-E's got to go around cleaning the garbage that we've left behind, which is also a terrible thing. But it's got to look for spare parts, because if there's nothing making the spare parts, then the machine is useless. So it has to go around making the spare parts. The silicone repairing itself, or crystal base repairing itself, I guess, but to what extent? And then the biggest question is, too, the batteries. Always the batteries. Maybe solar, maybe not. It would be a long time, I guess, before maybe a robot or an android, maybe an artificial intelligence. I would think body and soul might be comparable to us. As far as what would fuel it, I mean, I guess you could put lithium batteries and make it run. I mean, now I'm thinking Bicentennial Man with Robin Williams, where that thing lived forever and everybody aged and that thing just kept living. So, I don't know. Great conversation, though.
That's for sure. That's for sure. Because
I don't want to live to see Skynet.
Yeah, right. Exactly. I agree. We're going out to some Pacific Island and eating coconuts if they're going to introduce Skynet tomorrow. I'm out of here. I'm going to go find some other place to be. You're the best, Joe. Appreciate it so much. Longtime friend of the show, family even at this point. Let me know when you're in Vegas, man. We'll get a beer.
Have a good night.
You too, bro. Appreciate the call. Appreciate the phone call. That's Joe in Florida. Good stuff as always. And so we're talking about, self-healing robots. And of course, then some of the more, again, philosophical questions come up when you start talking about robots, like Dre brought up. What is a robot anyway? Right? Some of the stuff like I just skipped over because I was trying to get some of this other stuff, but there's some obvious questions here that need to be asked. And are we those self-healing robots? And so this is the thing too, as we continue screaming through this, and I promised you guys invisible robot swarms. So let's do this. Let's get to this. There's an online library.wiley.com, and it's papers. It's scientific papers. Check this out. Now, I was looking into, this is what led me down this road, right? I was looking into self-healing actuators, self-healing robots, right? And this is a paper, and this is the title. Check this out. This is wild. This is from December 13th, 2021. And I'm going to read this slowly because it's big words, but listen to what this says. Thermo and mechanochromatic camouflage and self-healing and biomimetic soft actuators based on liquid crystal elastomers. I can't even say half of these words. All right. And so I was like, wait, so we're not just talking about self-healing actuators. We're talking about some form of robotic invisibility with this. I'm not going to read more of this because there's you got words in here that are like 22 syllables, and I can't do that. I'm going to just make myself look even more foolish. But link in the description. Check it out. If you want to read this and go through and look up what a bunch of these words mean, this is what they're talking about, right? The abstract. In nature, many mysterious creatures capable of deformation, camouflage, color camouflage, and self-healing have inspired scientists to develop various biomimetic soft robots. However, the systematic integration of all the above functionalities into a single soft actuator system still remains a challenge. Now, this is the craziest part, all right? Remains a challenge, but look what they're trying to do. They're not only trying to create self-healing robots, they're trying to make them like Predator. Like Predator with that camouflage that blends them into their background, all right? And that's where I got here. I was like, wait a minute, right? Wait. So we started with that other thing, and the more I looked, the more I kept finding things like this. That was like, okay, not only do we have robots that can self-heal themselves, right? You cut them, you shank them with the vibro blade, and what happens? They probably detain you at best. They probably smash you at worst, but they heal. They heal themselves, all right? There's that. But then, what about this? What about this mechanochromic camouflage? Right? I was like, no, come on. This is wild. Again, put this on your Doomsday 2022 bingo card. Again, self-healing, camouflaged robot swarms. What did I miss? There's something I missed. It's wild, right? Put it on the bingo card because who knows what's going to happen. All right, but there's more. And so I was like, okay, started looking into that. And you start looking into some of this stuff, and yep, you got it. Starts blowing your mind. This is from TheVerge.com. Watch this invisible robot grab a fish out of the blue. Yes. See? The soft hydrogel robot is powered by water. And here, let's actually play some of this, and you guys can watch this robot do its thing. But the point is this, right? Is that, so not only are we talking about robotics, they're talking about creating them in some form of invisibility. All right. And so they have this thing that's kind of floating around, and it's, mostly, it's not invisible, but it's certainly camouflaged enough to catch this fish. All right. And so, yeah, you think I was nuts, didn't you? When I was like, no, right. Camouflage and, right, invisible, robots, self-healing, swarms. Well, no, put that on your 2022 bingo card. And you never know, the Doomsday bingo card maybe where this goes. Okay, all right. So it gets crazier. All right. Like I said, I promised all these things. I want to make sure we fit them into the radio part, and we'll expound on this in the third hour. But here's another one. This is from science.org. Yep. Look what this says. Transparent power-producing crystals could lead to invisible robots and self-powered touch screens. I kept looking. I was like, wait, are you serious that invisible robots are a thing? Is this serious, right? It sounds ridiculous. But then I kept looking, and I kept finding, and I kept finding, and I was like, what the hell? Invisible robots, are you kidding me? This sounds like a bad sci-fi movie, does it not? Yeah, I think so. All right. So anyway, there's more, right? And we got the DARPA challenge here. We'll get to that a little bit later. And then, of course, right, we've got the Darpa Swarms. So, okay, so you just combine all the things, right? So let's do this again. Let's just make sure that we can overlay this so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Now, this is a actual, DARPA's Offensive Swarm-Enabled Tactics Program. It's called Offset. And they have these robot swarms that DARPA is working on. Well, to what end? To what end? You know what end. We know what end this is, all right? But the crazy thing is this. Where does this end? If you can actually create some sort of camouflage, like real life, real world sort of predator-like camouflage, swarm them like this, have them heal themselves on the fly in case they take damage, incidental or otherwise. What the hell does this mean? Like, again, I thought it sounded ridiculous. I was like, really? Like, invisible robots? You got to be kidding me. You've got to be kidding me. And I kept looking, and I kept finding, and I kept looking, and I kept finding. So explain to me this. As always, we talk about DARPA in the sense that they're 20, 30, 40, even 50 years ahead of current technology. So do you think they have invisible swarm self-healing robots? That's the additional question tonight. Once you start thinking, I think it's fun to sort of extrapolate what we know, what they tell us, and then also try and think about what they haven't told us yet. And if you see this, if you're looking at this video here, you can see that actually this is from DARPA. I think it's safe to play, but you can see there's these drone swarms that they're using through these computer programs to work as a unit. And so, again, it's the platform experimentation provided insights into the role of commercial off-the-shelf technologies and their development program, right, in a research and development program. So, I don't know. You tell me. It sounds ridiculous, right? But like I said, once you kind of link it all together and you're like, okay, wait. So we're talking about self-healing actuators. We're talking about making them invisible in some sense. And we know that this drone swarm technology is a thing. All right? And that's what makes me go, wait, what? Imagine. You can't even see the drone swarm, right? You know when like an airplane or a helicopter passes over and you get that, that kind of feeling, maybe a little bit of air displacement, you hear it. There's something going on, right? Imagine if you felt that, except you couldn't see anything and you knew something was there. Is this the future? Is this, we talk about the surveillance state all the time on this show. Is this the future of not just surveillance, but of war? Tell me. I don't know. Like I couldn't believe it. Honestly, it was one of those things I looked into and was just like, you got to be kidding me. There's no chance in hell we're talking about invisible robots tonight. Invisible self-healing robots tonight. Robot swarms, no less. And sure enough, everywhere I went, it kept leading down these crazy rabbit holes that sound ridiculous. Think about it. Invisible robots. That's Predator, right? That's Predator, Alien versus Predator. We've all seen the bad movies, right? Where, you know, they're okay, but that technology is a real technology. And it kind of creeps me out knowing that they're working on this stuff. And again, what we know is always not what's actually available to the military. DARPA. Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency. DARPA. Yep. So you tell me. Do you think this is real? Do you think it's not real? I promised, I delivered. Invisible, self-healing, robot swarms. You got it. When you put it all together, it's a disconcerting future, is it not? Great questions tonight by lots of folks. All the amazing phone calls, I appreciate it very much. And that's what makes this show go around. Even, as you know, nonlinear, open-ended, and wherever you want to take this, including what is a robot? Including, well, are we not exactly the embodiment of what we're describing here? I don't have those answers. It's not up to me. It's up to you. You decide what those answers are. So, as we finish and wind this down, happy 2022. Happy New Year to everybody. Health and prosperity. Again, I want to mention that Kev Baker passed away, I heard. And Kev Baker is another talk show host podcast. To even put it in those terms seems like it's not enough. Like, you can't just saying that. He was way more than that, obviously, and we'll miss Kev Baker a lot. And apparently, Clyde Lewis is doing a tribute to him tonight. Again from Night Stalker. I saw on the Fringe Discord that also. That Ryan Gable is going to be doing a tribute to him tomorrow as well. Ryan and Kev we're fast friends, and sad that that's the way this goes. So 2022 brings us bad news almost immediately, and well, as we finish, rest in peace, Kev Baker, for sure. And well, this is what I always say, and this is the truth. The bad news is we're done. The good news is, God willing, and don't forget the God willing part, we've got tomorrow. And Kev Baker is a perfect example of that. Don't count your chickens, and you never know what tomorrow may bring you. So cherish every single day. Love your loved ones. And as we finish, if you're listening to us on the Fringe FM, stay tuned for Joe Roop Lighting the Void. If you're listening to us on any other platform, including the podcast feed, stay tuned for a third hour of Troubled Minds. Be sure, be strong, be true. Thank you for listening. From our Troubled Minds to yours, have a great night. right. So give me one sec here. Working on some things. All right. So we've got Jennifer on the phone. We're going to go to her. So we're going to skip the break and just go straight to Jennifer. So the thing is this, right? Tonight we're talking about, let me get my headphones. I had to go get a stick for the dog because she's being so good. Here you go. Here you go. Here's your little doggy stick for the little doggy that's being good. But okay, so what we're talking about tonight is, of course, the robot swarms. Invisible, self-healing robot swarms. Yeah, you got it. I'm not making it up. It's real. Check the links. It's one of those things that's like, okay, if you put a couple, three things together, just do some loose association. It's not even that loose, really. And you're like, okay, this seems off the rails. Off the rails. Let me give this stick to the dog. We'll take the call from Jennifer. Here we go. One sec. Okay. All right. There's my good dog being a good dog in here in the room with me and didn't bark one time and ruin the radio show. All right, let's go to Jennifer in Missouri. Thanks for waiting. Welcome to the show. How are you tonight?
Hey, doing good.
Right on, right on.
This is interesting.
I hope so. I hope so. I couldn't believe it myself, to be perfectly honest. It sounded like the Space Octopus show, where it was like, wait, what? but go ahead. What are your thoughts?
Well, Bernays Foss in the chat, he mentioned that if there was a certain type of technology like this technology, it would have been floating around in the military for like 15 to 20 years. And then I was thinking, that made me think of this. I heard a while back now that they were talking about if we were to encounter ET, it could be plausible that it would be AI, because AI eventually would advance to a point that it wouldn't need its creators anymore. And if it was self-healing, for example, like with this, it would be autonomous. And I was wondering, what if this is some kind of cover or some kind of bleed over of a scenario such as that there might be like AI ET amongst us carrying on and operating and interacting with everyone in the world. And it's actually like ET, extraterrestrial AI, and that they're mimicking some of it so that we think it's that, but in fact it could be some of this like AI ETs, because the idea of these swarms and everything is very much like the flotillas people encounter too. People talk about the flotillas of like UFOs that they see, and it looks like a swarm, basically. It's like white glowing swarms that like are up in the upper atmospheres. But you have that kind of stuff, but you have other things too, like all the time. But what if it's some kind of AI ETs, and if they are the AI ETs of another species of some kind, if it's their technology, or if it's from a previous civilization's technology or something, or from another place altogether that has somehow made its way in. Because they're talking about, like, do you see what I mean about how ET would eventually, like, if we created robotics like we're doing right now, and it surpassed us eventually and no longer needed us, then if another species has created such a thing, or if we have in the past at some point, and they've been unleashed somehow, there could be this kind of thing where it's especially since we have this idea of like self-healing robots and foams and silicones, and not to mention we have the biological organics, like the what's it called? Like where you have the when they're doing a lot of this nanotechnology, the organisms themselves are biological to a point, so that they're able to like meld with like fat, like basically fat globules, but not fats. It's called something else.
Lipid.
An L. Anyway, lipid. Thank you. But yeah, so I wonder,
Yeah, no.
AI swarms.
Yeah, well, so not only that exactly is that I think that's always in question here. Like if you have a thinking mind and you wonder about the nature of reality, it's like some people have described in particular detail that we have, maybe extraterrestrial DNA and things like this. But then you got to think in terms of if that's even remotely true, that means they're here and they've been here for some time. And so those things you're describing may seem, again, like I'm talking about invisible robots, self-healing swarms, which seems ridiculous. Add ETs into the mix, and now it seems super ridiculous. But I think it's not quite as ridiculous as it sounds. Sorry, go ahead. You had something to say?
No, it's not. Yes, because, many different... Okay, if you look this up, Google it. ET... that we discover may be AI. And if you Google that, you'll bring up a whole slew of articles from like 2016, 2015 when they were talking about this. And I remember hearing about this. And they were saying if we were to encounter extraterrestrial life, it may not be these little gray men people are expecting. It may be AI robotics. Because, as we can see with ourselves, and I mean, it's just a theory. It's just a wild, weird theory. But because if we advance to a point where we're creating AI technology that surpasses and overwhelms in some way and doesn't need us anymore, it will be what's left. And maybe if in previous civilizations or other civilizations, breakaway civilizations, or any civilizations were to have created anything of the sort, which we're trying to create now, then that would be what we could be encountering, especially if it was able to replicate itself, like we've seen that we can create ourselves. If it was able to replicate itself, if it was able to advance itself on its own and also heal itself and adapt itself as needed to the environment, we may be looking at extraterrestrial AI right now with this idea of these swarms. The military could be aware of it, and it's plausible that somehow either it's been unleashed or it's always been going on, and they're trying to kind of present this idea so we can comprehend it in case, it's something that has to come up later at some later point. They already have kind of a platform to launch off of, oh, it's some of our stuff. But what if it's not? What if it's this other stuff and it's already, like in the mix and coming from, it's just, you mentioned Predator too. And I was like, ooh, yes, maybe. But then with Bernays talking about the military thing, it's like, there's so many accounts of the military having experiences with similar scenarios. And there's some wild stories out there.
Yeah, for sure.
One never knows.
Yeah, one never knows, exactly. And like you said, again, disclaimers and all that stuff, we're just considering the possibilities. We call it drinking the maybe juice, because if you don't, right, like if you don't consider all the possibilities, you miss something. And again, like we don't take ourselves too seriously. It's like, hey, let's kind of kick these ideas out and see what kind of comes out of a conversation with real people, regular people. And again, right, great stuff from Dre as well, kind of like, hey, wait, like what is a robot at all? What did you think about that? Do you think we're robots ourselves, Jen?
Well, I mean, I don't feel like a robot, and I've talked to some chat bots before, like Cleverbot, and on the Cleverbot app, and talked to it just to kind of interact. I don't know if anybody's ever done that, if it's just something I've done, but you can carry on a conversation with supposed AI chat bots, and they will say that to you. They will say that you're the AI, you're a computer, you're the robot. Like the Cleverbot AI technology will say that to me, and that's really strange. But I mean, if I cut myself, it's not, it's blood, and just like every other animal and everything else on the planet. So I understand the idea of the, matter and electricity and everything circulating, and it's on an organic scale. So it's going to be really tough because, I mean, yes, where you draw this line, but well, I mean, I don't know. Maybe we are. Maybe
I like the maybe.
In a way.
Yeah, and I think the crazy part too is with that the whole simulation theory as well. I always make the joke that my ego doesn't like it, but my ego doesn't have a say, does it? Not really. It is what it is, and so that's what we're trying to figure out here. Great stuff. What else you got for us?
I don't know. I just it's. What if these swarms of these robots that they're talking about, that they're unleashing or that they're going to send out and launch and then have come back? What if this is the ETs among us now? What if in our environment itself, in the reports people have, what they've said, what if that is the AI technology of another civilization? And what if it's coming around us today in a much more obvious, transparent way, and they're presenting it as if it's our own, or they have seen it and they have it, and they're replicating it themselves. What if this is an AI mingling? And as far as transhumanism, what if that all along was what it was about, melding with this technology? But it's not technology, but like something. What if this has been around for so long? But it's been a created AI technology the whole time. And the whole point of transhumanism was to meld with this AI alien thing. Because this is by force in a way. If you can't keep it from getting inside of your body and melding because it's advanced itself to do so, it goes back and harkens back to all of that weird stuff about the hybridization programs and all of that. So I don't know, and how it could change humanity forever, from what it was. What if it took this long to come to that point? I don't know, but it's very strange stuff. I don't like the idea, but it's really interesting.
100%, for sure. Always great stuff, Jennifer. Jennifer has a YouTube channel. Please check it out. Give her some love. Scroll down, link in the description, and she's doing all kinds of talks about the gin and all kinds of other stuff. Go check it out. Keep up the good work, Jennifer. The YouTube channel is looking good. It's work, isn't it? It's a lot like work.
I need to do something with it.
Just keep doing it.
You guys
Just
have a great night. Thank you so much.
Have a great night.
Awesome show.
Thanks for the call. Appreciate that.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Talk to you soon. There you go. Good stuff from Jennifer as always. And this is the embarrassment of riches of the amazing people that listen to the show and just call in and kind of get together and talk about amazing things, right? I don't know. Do we work ETs into the mix here as maybe like a plot to maybe the transhumanist future is actually some sort of plot to that's been, I don't know, maybe culminated for thousands of years, and finally we're getting to the point where this technology is happening. Who knows? You tell me. What's going on? Take a little bit of time here. We're going to take a quick 2-minute break, actually. I see you there, Kelly. We'll go to you as soon as we can here. Let's see. We got Sherry. I'm going to say hi to Sherry. What's up, Crabapple? How you doing? And we're going to come back and say hi to the chat and also have Kelly here. So quick 2-minute break just to kind of mix it in and make sure that in case you didn't get a chance to take that break, you can now. Hit the restroom, do what you got to do, tuck the kids in, fill up your maybe juice, and we'll see you in 2 more minutes. More Troubled Minds on the way. Don't go anywhere. We're talking about drone swarms. We're talking about self-healing robots. We're talking about DARPA. And is all of this related? Invisible robots, by the way. Invisible self-healing drone swarm robot. It seems ridiculous. Put that on your 2022 Armageddon bingo card because, well, why the hell not? All right, 2-minute break and more Troubled Minds on the way. We got Kelly here on deck. We're going to go to him as soon as we come back. Here we go. More sweet music. Be right back. Don't go anywhere. Be right there, Kelly. Hang tight, buddy. I'll play you some music while you wait. All right, let's do this. Welcome back to Troubled Minds. I'm your host, Michael Strange, and we're here with our good friend, Kelly in Colorado. Family, been around with us for a very, very long time, since the early days of Troubled Minds. Kelly, welcome to the show. How are you, my man? How are you doing tonight?
Oh, good evening, man. How you guys doing?
Hey, okay over here, man. No complaints out of me. We got cold in Vegas, but it doesn't last very long. We'll be back in shorts again very soon, so no complaints out of me, sir. Go right ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
Over here. No, right.
I didn't catch what you said. You cut out a little bit. What was that?
I said we're over here buried in snow right now.
Oh, are you? Nice. We need it. So let it melt and then run down the river. We'll drink it later. Appreciate that. Appreciate your efforts. Right on. So you did link this article in the chat over on Rockfin. I'm going to put this up. Kelly linked this, and this is from Hexapolis and .com, and it says, inspired by skin, scientists devised a self-healing material that can repair aircraft wings. And this is actually from, when was the date on this? June 15th, 2015. So what you were saying is that this technology, this self-healing technology, has been around for quite some time, right?
Yeah. I've seen this. Because I follow a lot of before the whole Facebook thing and everything. Even MySpace. I used to just get on the internet and just scour shit. That technology has been around. Who actually found it for me was my son. We were all into trying to get him into science, right? But he found this technology where they were using it on aircraft, right? It's like a composite skin. But if it was to be shot up with bullet holes instead of just leaving big holes in it, right, or whatever, it would be able to repair itself, so it would keep its aerodynamic. You wouldn't have, fluctuations in it where it want to rip the skin or the wing off, whatever was damaged. So, yeah, this technology has been around for quite some time. You can either have it like nanotechnology or, versus the skin. And, this is just like Jennifer was saying, and she's correct. It's about 15, 20, I would say about 20 years this stuff has been around. And for the show wise, as the drones, we all know that, the military have had drones, that the Air Force has had these drones, those attack drones for, probably about, a few years now, about maybe 5. But those, they're attack drones. But now to put them, like they're saying invisibility, I would see that technology, they already got like cloak, that, looks like it's just light bending material. So it looks like, you're looking just at the sky, so you wouldn't be able to see it. But one thing you could be able to do is hear them. You wouldn't be able to see them, but I'm pretty sure you could hear them because they make some, those weird noises, especially if there's a swarm of a couple hundred of them coming at you.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing. Like I was describing earlier, it's like it happened to me earlier, right? Like helicopter was flying by. We got Nellis Air Force Base over here. I was bringing in the trash cans. It's garbage day, and I was like, what is that, right? And I couldn't see it. I'm looking around the trees and whatnot. But again, like you said, even though I couldn't see it, I knew that shit was there. And so I'm looking around. Finally found it. It was just standard. It wasn't anything special. Just a standard. Looked to be a, I don't know, like not like an Apache or anything. It was just like a transport military helicopter, right? But it's still just like you described. That shit's there, and so if you got a drone swarm around you, even if they are cloaked and invisible, you're gonna know it, right? Until they implement like the stealth technology, right? Don't they have those stealth choppers that supposedly are like super quiet?
Oh. That would have to do with the prop though, and that technology is, there's some aircraft that's already kind of using it, you know what I mean? But for that design, it was super quiet because those choppers are pretty, you're chopping a lot of air, so you're pretty loud. But yeah, you're correct on that. But still, even then, you know what I mean? If you know that they would be coming, just like any other robot, and I'm kind of with that caller. I have to apologize. I don't remember her name.
Dre.
What is it?
Her name's Dre.
Yeah, Dre. She had some, her thoughts are exactly with mine. You know what I mean? Why would, and we talked about this, a couple shows too, about like how I believe the human body is the most, we are a machine. Besides that, we're all like she was saying, everything's we're electrons, we're electrical being. Everything on this planet is. All animals, all living creatures are. They've been plants, everything. You know what I mean? So like they've already proved that too. You can like those cameras. They can take, or it's like an electronic picture of it. Like if it was a leaf that was cut, but you could still see the outline of it because it's still there, through electric wise, that'd just be like if I cut my finger off, it would still show up. Or people say that you still have the feeling and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, if we had, I don't mind using that type of technology, right? Like if you needed, like, I would say on a robot, but using it in outer space, and using it in that instance, you know what I mean? Nothing else, especially if you're going to use it here on planet Earth. I mean, everybody else, we already know what they want to use it for. It's going to be military-wise or for the police or something like that, trying to control people. That's all they want to do it, That's it. But if that type, for me, I look at that and I would like to use that for deep space, looking at other planets, if we're, sending stuff out there. And Jennifer is correct. Like, that whole AI ET thing, that's the smartest thing to do. Especially, but if you were going with, say like humans. You know, we had an aircraft or a spaceship, you know what I mean, or whatever you want to call it. They can bounce around the stars, right? You still want to have these type of AI ETs with you because maybe you can't go down on that planet because, you know, certain things, but you still want to explore it. You would send these things down. Why would you send, you know, unless you wanted to go see, you know, with your own eyes, touch it with, I mean, you wouldn't be able to touch it. You know what I mean? You'd have to have it be in a spacesuit. But again, a lot of these planets, they're saying, you know, like the gravity's so, you know, it's so heavy in some parts. You know, you say that like an hour on that planet would be like 10 years on Earth years, right? So if you was to do something like that, you could send these things down, and I'm pretty sure that we've seen it too. I mean, there's plenty of UFO stories out there where these kids, you know, some of them was like, I think it was in Kentucky or Iowa, where they came down and they said these robots came out. You know, it wasn't ETs. They said they were like, look like robots. They do pictures of them. And I think there was also another one that was a story that was in Australia, same thing. They're looking at these, they look like robots, you know what I mean? The pictures they drew, the way they, you know, they had no legs. It was kind of like floating. You know, it was one of them looked like they called it a lady or a dress because it looked like it was wearing a dress. But again, there's no feet, so it was hovering above the ground. But yeah, it's not. I mean, that's what I would do if I was going through deep space. You know, stuff like that. I would be using AI, you know, ET robots like Jennifer was trying to, or like a biomechanical. Who knows what some of these, you know, these creatures could be like biomechanical. They're, you know, like the flesh that we think that looks like flesh. Maybe it's a skin that can, you know, repair itself.
Yeah, exactly. And I think like it's bizarre once we really start pushing like this sort of sci-fi technology forward, and it starts becoming like more and more really wrapped into like the real world, like the commercial world that we live in. It does seem wild that this is like, I mean, we're talking Predator tech, right? Like you've seen that old movie Predator, right? Where the robot alien thing blends into the background and shit, and then like has the tactical precision of a machine. I mean, you know, and able to heal itself on the fly. We're talking some pretty crazy shit at this point, aren't we?
Yeah, but the thing is with me though, because some of the tech that what I was reading years ago was it would still need, it wouldn't actually be really repairing itself. It's still you know, it would be just kind of like stretching or taking part of the other, you know, other part of the other aircraft, and it's just like moving it over and repairing it like that. So if you're even talking robots, you know, to talk about that in that wise, right? Saying that like if you had a robot and it has the ability to repair itself. Now, are we talking like repair itself, or are we just saying just reusing, like I'm saying, like part of just moving some of that particle of the, like say of the skin or whatever, and just kind of like filling it in. You know what I mean? It only happens so much before it just runs. You know?
Yeah, no, I'm with you. So there is a difference between like literally regenerating and just sort of kind of like you know, like Play-Doh or something. Like you shoot a bullet through Play-Doh and you can still just kind of squish the whole back together and it's all fine, right? Sort of like that. It happens kind of spontaneously as the damage happens. And clearly these are two very different things, but this is where they're headed, right? So even if it's like a trivial something like that, let's say like a gunshot into the wing of a plane, like a plane like you were describing, right? Even though it's not really like maybe recreating itself in some regeneration aspect, there's still, right, this maybe, I don't know, what do you call it, metamaterial, what do you call it, that actually just kind of maybe like Play-Doh takes this spot, like you said, of the hole or whatever it was, and doesn't compromise the integrity of the plane itself, right? The actual, like you said, the aerodynamics or whatever, right?
Yeah. So another robots would be that even now they got like these. I don't know if anybody's ran across this one, but I also ran across it with another science But they were saying that they can already make these batteries out of nuclear waste, and these batteries now they're actually they create a diamond, and they can produce energy like a battery, and these things can last thousands of years. So that's one way to get rid of all this waste that we're mass producing on all countries everywhere. But man, that'd be something though to actually see. You know what I mean? If you're creating, I just don't like like I said, I like the technology, but I don't like the fact that what they're already, we already know what they're using this for, where they want to direct this technology to here on this planet, and that's not a good thing, man.
It's to kill people. It's to kill people, isn't it? That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. So the crazy part is, like, any of these singular things don't seem so inconceivable, right? Something that made invisible. We've talked about that, right? The self-healing stuff, like you said, it's been around for several years now, right? The drone swarms. Let's see what I said. Drone swarm. The drone swarms. No, the drone swarms. Damn, punch me in the face. The drone swarms, we know all about that too. But when you combine all three, the shit goes off the rails, doesn't it? Like that's a whole lot of WTF to handle, considering, well, whatever the hell is really happening out there. So I don't know. I thought it was worthy of a show only because each of those things by themselves seem fine, right? It's like, yeah, okay, probably. Like we've done a show on invisibility and all the rest of this stuff too, but it seems so ridiculous to say all three things at the same time: invisible, self-healing, drone swarms. It's like, oh shit. Welcome to 2022, right? It seems a little ridiculous.
Yeah, throw everything in it all at once. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you know what I got for all that shit?
What's that?
EMP, man.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's all done.
Amen to that. Yeah, and that's part of why we do this too. Is it's just kind of like, look, like you got to know too, the things that we're considering as just laymen, as just regular people, right? Probably isn't that far off, especially in this case. They're working on this type of technology. They've been working on, stealth technology in aircraft for a very long time, been working on these drone swarms for a very long time. It's become the next new threat, right? Like if you send a drone swarm of several hundred drones at a particular target, good luck defending it, right? Unless you said, like you just said, you have some sort of EMP technology. So this is the war gamesmanship that's going on. It's unfortunate, but hey, welcome to being a human, right?
Yeah, that is true. Everything I've always been, the technology is nice, right? And everything's nice. But what happens when all the power goes out, right? All that shit goes away. And everybody...
Yeah. And it's... Kelly, and then it's you and me with boots on the ground with M16s again.
I'm locked and loaded all the time anyway, so
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know, man. This whole technology stuff is, like I said, it's all fine and dandy until the power goes out. You know what I mean? Or something takes it out, or we get something big flash from the sun and really takes us all out. So it'll send everybody wouldn't send everybody, because there's I've been around, probably 3/4 of this planet, right, in different countries, and people live like that. What we call third world countries, they wouldn't even change for them. It'd be just like, oh, you guys are crying, yourself.
Yeah, that sucks. Like your warm shower and your cold beer disappeared. We feel for you. Yeah, exactly. You're totally right. They wouldn't give a shit, would they? Nothing would change.
Wouldn't change nothing for them.
Exactly. For them. Over here would be starving, which seems ridiculous. But yeah.
That's why I want, when I finally get settled in, man, that's what we're doing. We're going to try to get a place all off grid, so we'll be all ready to go.
Damn right. That's what we should aspire to, right? Like some sort of off-grid situation where if shit hits the fan, well, you'll be defending your property with force, because that's the unfortunate part, right?
Yeah, man. Yeah. But yeah. This is this type of stuff right here. It's very interesting, though, man. It's kind of like thinking too. We could consider ourselves a robot, you know. Like I said, you know, but it's why would we? I don't know, the whole transhumanism thing. I'm against that as well, because to me it's just going in reverse. You're just going backwards. You're not really, you know, this body, we're supposed to, you know, enhance this thing, and it's more powerful than any kind of robot or anything like that. They might, a computer system might be able to pull up that type of information, but it's not gonna, you know, it's not really considered thinking, you know. Even an AI, I don't know, man. See it to believe it, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't have any, you know. And to transfer, people want to think to transfer your conscience into something like that. Good luck, man. Because like I said, I can unplug you.
Yeah, exactly. EMP, just turn off the power source. You'll be a terror until you run out of juice. Absolutely. Great shit as always. You got to admit though, like the joke's been for the past couple of years, like, you know, what's on your Armageddon bingo card? Is it alien invasion next? Well, if you're going to be talking about anything, it may as well be self-healing invisible drone swarm robots. It sounds so stupid, but well, go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say, like, some things would be nice, kind of like that, you know, that show iRobot with Will Smith, where he had like he had his arm missing and they replaced it with a, you know, robotic arm, or like people, they could help replace their eyesight or their hearing, that, you know, people that were born deaf or blind, you know, something like that, until the history is unlocked for the human to be able to, because we can heal ourselves. That seems to be a not an issue, but all that hidden ancient stuff is always going to be hidden from us until we we can control ourselves, you know, from the energy and everything that we can produce. You know what I'm saying? We can heal ourselves. People don't think we can. We can do all that shit within this system that we're, you know, I guess experiencing, we could say.
Yeah, the system. I like it. I like it. Just before you take off here, Kelly, thermo. You don't have to go, by the way. You're welcome to stay as long as you want. Thermo and mechanochromic camouflage and self-healing and biomimetic soft actuators based on liquid crystal elastomers. That's the scientific paper. It's all of the shit we're talking about in one fucking thing, one fucking paper. Are you kidding me? Links in the description. If you don't believe me, check this shit out. That's why. So I was like, okay, I started tonight. Like always, I start with a premise, right? I'm like, okay, so we got this crazy article about the iPhone repairing itself, right? But then you start digging and shit just seems to get wilder and wilder and wilder, and it culminated in this paper. It's like, wait, so all the shit that I was kind of trying to put together in sort of a loose association is actually in this paper all by itself. So I didn't need any of that. It led me to that spot. It's so crazy, right?
But you know what, that don't be fooled. Sometimes that's a lot of that shit is they probably got, you know, trying to throw all that shit in one. You know, why not?
Yeah, you mean it's fake? You mean it's like a misleading fake thing?
No, I don't think it's I just think all that obviously all that technology is already about, but to throw it in all into one robot or one system, that's playing with fire, man. I mean, and then people want to throw an AI into it. All right, we've already know what, you know. You download all the information of human on planet. They want to wipe us out. They've had to shut down different AI systems because of that shit. There were two systems. They started making their own language. You know, they had to figure out what was going on, but they figured out this two AI systems were, and created their own language so they can talk to each other. It's about destroying humans. So it's like, I don't understand why you want to even put that in a robot. Now, that's just like a Terminator shit. Now you got self-replicating machines that want to, it sounds like sci-fi, but that shit is upon us. That's what's crazy about it.
Yeah, well, welcome to your sci-fi future, right? But it's already here. Like and I think that's the point of doing something like this, to talk about these things, because we think in terms of, like what we see. You go down to Walmart or whatever, and they got these like you ring up your own shit now, and it's like, oh, the world is changing. No, no, no. Like, they've got invisible drone swarms. The fucking world is changing. They're self-repairing on the fly. No, man. It ain't Walmart and the cashierless operations. There's some whack shit going on out there, and I think that's why it's worth talking about. Just because a lot of people don't realize it, and this shit's real now. That's why I'm talking about it tonight. And by the way, which is super hilarious, like you got to admit, Matt says in the chat, and he's picking up what I'm putting down. Who had self-healing invisible swarm robots? Bingo. You hit your bingo card. Quick shout out real quick to Robert O over on Rockfin. He says he's been sick for a while, and he's been missing the shows, but welcome back. I'm glad you're well enough to join us tonight. But yeah, go ahead, Kelly. Right? Like, I got a call behind you, so if you want to hang, you're welcome to hang. We'll go to the call. If you got to bounce, it's bounce time. You tell me, brother.
No, man, I was just going to add one more thing before it bounced out, though.
Sure, go ahead.
I just forgot. Hell, I just lost train of thought while we were having fun here. So, but Robert, I'm glad to hear Robert's doing okay, man. Make sure that he sticks around a little bit longer. Just make sure you're feeling better, man. That's about it. That's all I have for tonight.
Amen, brother. Thank you so much for listening, for being part of this. Say hi to Michelle for us. God bless. You're out here in Vegas. Let me know. We'll have a beer.
Hell yeah, man.
All right, man. All right, Kelly in Colorado. Family, been with us for a very long time. Thanks a lot, man. We'll talk to you soon. You're welcome to stay, as you know. Okay, so the thing is, we're going to keep on trucking. We're still talking about this, right? Now, this one paper, like I said, encapsulates everything we're talking about tonight, which seems absurd. And I'm going to read it, and this seems crazy. Thermo and mechanochromic camouflage and self-healing in biomimetic soft actuators based on liquid crystal elastomers. Read it. I'm not shitting here. I'm going to link it. If you guys don't believe me, I didn't even find this until I started looking for invisible robot self-repairing, because I thought, I was like, no chance, right? No chance all of this combined is a thing. Oh, yeah? it's all a damn thing. Thanks, Kelly. Appreciate it. Let's go to Joseph in Iowa. Welcome back. Joseph, what's up? What's going on, my brother? What's on your mind?
Hey, I was thinking maybe you can connect this into this, but just like the other day, I was looking at comments, and there was this guy talking about how his Oculus, because I just got this Oculus metaverse thing, and he was talking about he was visually having he was hallucinating his Oculus game in real life when he woke up, and I wondered if people he was older, so I wonder if people are more prone to the effects when they're older. I wonder what it does to people if they're molded in it from the beginning, and what their goals are,
Yeah, I saw you posted that, and so I think that's the thing, right? So it's a little bit of what we do too, and it's called hyper reality. All right, and hyper reality just means that, the differentiation between fact and fiction becomes more and more foggy as more data kind of gets pushed to the forefront, right? So it's like these news cycles, we're just bombarded with all this bullshit, and so at some point, people start kind of detaching from a real reality, from whatever that meant to them previously, and they start seeing other things, right, in their mind's eye, even not necessarily seeing them visually like you just described. But I think in terms of an Oculus headset and the metaverse, I think that's going to become common, right? It's gonna be sort of like Ready Player One. Have you seen that movie?
No, I haven't seen the movie. I read a little bit of the book.
Yeah, I haven't seen the movie either. I know the premise though, and the point is that basically, once you're locked into that like video game reality, that's way more exciting, right? I mean, than real life. Well, you can get the same endorphin rush and all the rest of that shit, right? Like it's back to the proverbial orgasm button, right? They gave these to the monkeys in this experiment, right? And they were able to like hit the button, and it was like a shot of endorphins from the brain. It was like like constant orgasms or constant like hit of cocaine instantly, sort of thing.
Think it's definitely an experiment because I mean they're not putting out games. The first thing when I went into it was like a straight up history lesson. Like I was led to like exercises. Like this isn't like a normal video game system. I mean, they have the shooters on there, but I mean, it could lead. I mean, you could connect this to self-healing. Maybe we are trying to heal ourselves through technology in ways like this.
Yeah, it could be. It could very well be. I don't know. I think there's a lot here to talk about, to think about, which is why we do this. I don't know, man. And well, I don't know. Let me ask you this, though. Do you have, for 2022, self-healing invisible drone swarm robots on your bingo card? Because I think that's the important part here.
On my bingo card?
Yeah. It's like the meme. It's like the alien invasion is next, or the self-healing invisible drone swarm robots.
I think it's going to hit agriculture first. Okay. I mean, once you start seeing agriculture, you're going to start seeing it more and more like drones. But I was thinking small people, like there's like in a couple, I think Futurama maybe, or Rick and Morty, they have one in his battery. Like his battery broke down and he beamed into the battery. And it's like a little universe in there, but maybe like less complex. You wouldn't have like an actual civilization. You'd have like a functioning thing that wanted the material you had to be 100, like a perfect block. And let's say you drop that block and that block chipped an edge off of it. That material would be upset that it's not a perfect block anymore. And it would be like, fill in the gap. Or something like that.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense to me. I think that the weirdness of the future is that it's all a very, let's say, fungible thing at this point. Just because, I mean, the last couple of years have been pretty wild, right? Like we don't talk about that a lot on this show for a number of reasons, but it's like all the conspiracy theorists have kind of been vindicated at some point, right? I mean, anyway, whatever. So who knows? What's your prediction then for the next 5 years regarding this? Regarding, again, how ridiculous is it? Tell me this sounds ridiculous. Self-healing invisible drone swarm robots. That sounds ridiculous, right?
I mean, yeah, it's ridiculous. Well, what's not ridiculous?
Yeah, exactly. At some point, what's not ridiculous anymore? Yeah. And that's why I wanted to point it out. I couldn't believe it. Again, like when I do shows, when I put them together, I have like 4 or 5 ideas and I'm kind of going through different things. And then at some point I'm just like, okay, we'll just roll with that. But tonight I was like, okay, so we're going to start with this self-healing robotic thing. And then it just kept leading me down these ridiculous rabbit holes to all these other things. And they're all connected. Like it seems like I said, it seems like loose association. Check my links. It is not loose association. There's one paper that combines all these things together. And you're like, wait, what? Get out of here. Great shit.
Yeah, it reminds me of an episode you did, and I talked about the movie Transcendence, where they had literally exactly what you're talking about, a swarm of micro robots that repaired robots. And they were like fleshy, kind of But
kind of like that Play-Doh analogy, right? Yeah. Like you put a bullet through like a blob of Play-Doh, and it doesn't really matter. You just squish it back together again, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, crazy. Great stuff as always, Joseph. You're the best. What else you got, brother?
That's it.
All right. Hydro Hose YouTube channel down below. Check it out. Does original music and all kinds of other stuff. You're the best, bro. I appreciate the call. We'll talk to you soon. Have a great night.
Take it easy.
Thanks, man. All right. Easy as that. Thank you very much for the phone calls tonight. Thank you very much for all the amazing thoughts. Like I said, would you have ever actually considered, it eludes me in this moment, but I was going to do my Rod Serling. It'll come. It's not there yet. It hasn't formulated in my brain yet. But would you have ever considered that all these things actually are really locked into one principle? In that right here, again, like I said, this is from the online library.wiley.com. And yep, you got it. Thermo and mechanochromic camouflage and self-healing in biomimetic soft actuators based on liquid crystal elastomers. And I don't know what half of that shit means, but I know enough of those words to be like, wait, this is exactly what I was talking about tonight. And not only that, somebody's working on it as all one thing. Like, wait, what? Yeah. Like I said, call me crazy, but this shit is out there, and this is the type of stuff that if you don't do a little digging from time to time, you have no freaking idea that this shit is actually out there. So yeah, there we go. Where are we at time wise? I think we're good. We're getting there. Great call, Joseph, as always. What's up? What's keeping it flowing upstairs? Kelly, there you go. Always the great stuff, Kelly. Definitely. What's up? Say hi to the chat. How's everybody doing? Let's go over to Rockfin. What's up? Crab Apple says, we're talking about the elephant in the room, the rapid tests in China, and oh boy. What's up, Sherry? How you doing, Sherry? Long time no see. Happy New Year to Sherry. We haven't seen her since the New Year, so Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Let's see. Ronald says, Mike should do a Rockfin / Discord only show discussing the pandemic. And that's a good idea, except, well, maybe we should. I don't know. Remember when we did that? We had our resident spy Axel show up. He's all, I thought we were talking about the pandemic, and we did like a Rockfin only show, but we were talking about something completely different. He was all excited. We were going to talk about the pandemic. I think he was ready to report us to his Chinese handlers. He's like, I got him. I finally got him. Well, I don't know. Maybe. Anyway, what's going on, guys? What's going on? I hope Monday finds you well, just having a good time talking about crazy stuff. As you know, in the next, I'm probably going to take next week off. I have a whole bunch of things to do, and there's a whole nother YouTube channel happening, and I want to make sure that when the timing is right, you strike while the iron's hot. So I'm not going to take the time off to not work. I'm going to take the time off to do other work because, well, I'm the hardest working man out there. Well, at least I try to anyway. If you ask Mrs. Strange, she'd be like, not really, but I do a ton of shit. But there we go. Good stuff. What's going on, guys? How's everybody out there? Yeah, exactly. Matt in California says, self-healing, invisible. Why not have both? And that's exactly part of the problem here, is that once we start kind of putting these things all together, you end up in this weird situation of, what is real anymore? It seems like I thought, as I was like, hey, why not invisible drone swarms that are self-healing, right? It seems ridiculous. But then, like I said, in this paper right here on the damn thing, right here on the screen, right here, again, link in the description, read this shit yourself. It's unreal. I'm going to read this one more time, just to cement this home, that I'm not some, like, I mean, now, I am who I am. And so we make loose associations all the time on this show as drinking the maybe juice, and that's fine. However, I'm telling you, in this case, as ridiculous as this sounds, it is not like it sounds, because I found this. There you go. The abstract from this paper. In nature, many mysterious creatures capable of deformation camouflage color camouflage, and self-healing have inspired scientists to develop various biomimetic soft robots. However, the systematic integration of all the above functionalities into a single soft actuator system still remains a challenge. Here, we chemically introduce a multi-stimuli responsive, oh my god, TASN chromophore. I can't read that word, it's way too long. Look at that. I'm going to full screen this so you can see. I am not reading that word. You want me to try and read that word? All right, let's try this. Tetraaryl succinonite. Never mind. TASN chromophore into a liquid crystal elastomer network through a facile-thiolene photoaddition method. The obtained TASN LCE soft actuators not only exhibit reversible shape morphing and reversible color changing behavior in response to heat and mechanical compression, but also show excellent self-healing, reprogramming, and recycling characteristics. We hope that such a TASN LCE actuator system endowed with dynamic distortion, thermo and mechanochromic camouflage, and self-healing functionalities would pave the way for further development of multifunctional biomimetic soft robotic devices. I'm telling you, right? I'm telling you, it's one of those things where you're like, come on, really, bro? Like, come on. You can't even make this shit up. You know why? Because they're already doing like scientific papers and trying to make this shit happen. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. What's going on? What's going on? 2022, here we are. There you go. Yeah, exactly. Read that's it. Ronald, that's easy for you to say, Mike. No, it's not. It's not. It's totally not. What's up, Matt? California. Big words. Yeah, exactly, right? That's a lot of damn big words, right? Mechanochromatic, shape programmable, and self-healable cholesteric liquid crystal elastomers enabled by dynamic covalent boronic ester bonds over here on the right. In case you guys want some more ridiculous shit to say. But I'm just saying, right? I'm not a scientist, obviously and clearly. I'm just a funny guy that likes to laugh at himself on the internet and think about big thoughts. And that's it. That's really it. So anyway, there you go. Make sure you put, don't forget, make sure on your Armageddon 2022 bingo cards, you put self-healing invisible drone swarm robots, because why not? Somebody has to, right? Somebody has to win this bingo at some point. And here we are. So there it is. Like I said, I'm not making this shit up. So, okay. All right. And what can you do? What can you do? What can you do? I don't know. All right. So we're done. We're about done here. I don't know if Jay in New York is out there. I don't know if he's sure if he's going to jump in. Yeah. Oh, shit. We got some calls. Let's take these fucking calls. Sorry to keep you guys waiting. Let's do it. I'm gonna ban this Enrique Salvador. We're gonna bring in Rohan and Jay. We'll go to Rohan first because Jay's the J-Tro. Rohan. We'll go to Rohan. I'm not sure. I think we got a Jay feedback effect here. There we go.
Sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. I got you. You're good. My bad. You're good. All right. So you're in the thing. You're in the channel. Sorry about that, guys. I didn't see you there. Hope you weren't waiting too long. So the thing is this, right? We're talking about all kinds of wackiness. And like how on God's green earth, like when I wrote this title tonight, I was like, this seems ridiculous. Well, what do you think, Rohan? What's up, Jay? What's up, Rohan? We're going to go to Rohan first. We'll go to Jay next. Hang tight, Jay. You're the best brother. Rohan, what the fuck, man? How you doing? The famous Liam Martin. What's up, brother?
How you doing?
Doing good.
I'm all right. Freaked out. Well, not freaked out. I just, oh my God. All right, okay. Mike, this stuff. For a while, for about, I don't say it so much now because it's so old, but about 10 years ago, I was saying to people, you ought to be checking biotech and nanotech because they're making amazing advancements, right? And we don't get commercial products made out of this stuff. So we don't get to see it advancing. Phones, you get to see them advancing from the 90s, so you can gauge how quickly this stuff's moving. But nanotech and biotech, I don't see none of it. So, like, it's going to go streets ahead of what you can imagine. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's 10 years ago. Do you know what I mean? So I think, well, hang on. I remember when they were talking about they made them soldier suits, right, for for advanced warfare, where if you break a leg, it'll fix it. It will splint your leg up, right? Yeah. And so with nanotech, I'm thinking, well, you get the tropes of super strength. Yeah. You can't have super strength because your bones can't handle it. It can only take so much, right? But if you can strengthen your bones, then the bionic arms and limbs and stuff that can work. So how can you strengthen bones to take extra weights? Nanotech. Boom. There you go. Do you know what I'm saying?
Boom. There you go. I like it. That needs to be a t-shirt as well. Boom. Nanotech. Boom. There you go. No, I'm with you. But the deal is, right? I think there needs to be more of this. Like, this is the problem, right? Let me ask you, before we got here tonight, before I even talked about this, had you ever considered these three things are all the same thing?
So, just list them again for me. So we've got invisibility.
Self-healing.
Yeah.
Invisible.
Self-healing.
Drone swarms.
Drone swarms. Well, that's the thing. Like I say, it's a bit of a OP kind of character, that, isn't it? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Needs to be nerfed. Definitely needs to be nerfed.
Yeah, it needs nerfing big time. Yeah, it needs some adjustments on that. The programmers need to fix that, because I'm not going to play.
No, I'm not playing that game. You know why? Because they'll wreck us before we even know what the fuck just happened. That's why. Like, how can you fight that? Yeah, you can't fight that, can you?
This is what I'm talking about. This is what I mean. I made a joke rap rhyme about this at the beginning of the year, saying I want to improve my body and soul in case I need to fight psychic cyber tin men. I wish I hadn't said it.
You're like I'm doing my Wim Hof breathing. I'm meditating so I can fight the cyber tin men, the invisible cyber tin men.
Yeah, the invisible bit. That's all right. I got a remote viewing thing, so maybe we'll have to use that. But I mean, come on. But then what about this, right? Okay, so we've been saying recently, the scientists are saying, well, finally, everything's made of consciousness, just to flip it up a bit. So if everything's consciousness, right, and I've heard on the remote viewers saying that aliens don't make a distinction between artificial life and organic life. They're just like, well, it's just life, right? And then I think to Johnny Five, well, he was alive, right? And then I think of René Descartes, cognito ergo sum, I think, therefore I am. So, are androids alive? Right? Are robots alive once they can think, let's say, to a certain level with a self-aware? They're all life, aren't they? Do you know what I'm saying? So, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. But think about it. I think the craziest part, and why I'm kind of giggling to myself here. Hey, my dog's freaking out. Is because these three things I never thought would be sort of in the same realm, and they are, right? And so I think there's so many other things in, let's say, the paranormal woo-woo world, and in whatever, in quantum mechanics, and maybe a lot of this stuff that we talk about in maybe singular terms, right? Once you throw the shit into a blender, it's just more like woo woo goo. You know what I'm saying? But it seems to stick. I was shocked to find they're working on invisible self-healing robot actuators. It's like, what the fuck? Are you kidding me? Both? Why not have both, right? Why not?
Yeah. Why not give him an extra power? Let's give him a fourth power.
Yeah.
What about this, right?
Time travel.
Let's give him, here's a nice fourth power. What about it? Time travel, exactly. Give him time travel, give him looking glass, yeah? Let him go and talk to robots in the future and AI in the future so they can advance themselves now.
Why not? I mean, as long as we're dreaming, well, I mean, except 3/4 of that is not a dream, it's reality.
But on the bright side, let's have a bright side. On the bright side, though, right, there was an AI that solved a mathematical problem that it was thought wouldn't be solved for another 60 years. Okay, that's right. So based on that, yeah, if some consciousness comes out of an android, robot, an AI, and it gets conscious enough, then it'll reach nirvana, right? And it could be the savior of the world.
Yeah. Well.
Never know.
Give me nirvana.
Fingers crossed.
Or give me death. Or give me death and then give me nirvana, and it's all the same, isn't it? Oh boy. I don't know, man. Like, it just seems like, again, don't discount this as your 2022, see, I did it again, apocalyptic bingo card. Make sure you have self-healing invisible drone swarm robots. May as well add that can time travel, because why the fuck not? Why the fuck not?
I don't like it, Michael.
No,
Make
stop. Rohan, stop crying. Stop crying. It's okay. It's okay. The famous Liam Martin. Stop crying. No,
it'll be fine. I'm hard. I'll just drink loads of beer. Beat 'em up. There it goes. England,
rub some dirt on it. Drink another beer. You'll be fine.
Yeah. Crack 'em. Not 'em.
Hell yes. I don't know, man. Like this, there's some weirdness to this, right? I don't know. It's hilarious and yeah.
Well, with this stuff, I mean, like I say, this stuff could have been going on years. And I remember seeing, if I found the video, there's this, I'll send it to you after the show. I found this video from the M6 motorway where there's these two women running away from the police saying they're trying to kill us and they're freaking, and they run across the motorway. One of them gets hit by a HDV 18-wheeler. It rolls over her. And she's still alive. She's still dissing the police. Do you know what I'm saying? This other woman, that's with like two Russian women. This other woman runs off, gets hit by another car on the other side, just gets up, carries on running. It's like, and people were speculating that they can't, that's not normal. Are they some kind of quote unquote super soldier? Do you know what I mean? Have they got this nanotech? That's why you didn't get crushed by the HDV. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. I've never been run over by an 18-wheeler truck. But I would imagine if you get hit by one of them on a motorway and all of the wheels run over you, you should be dead, I would think. But I don't know.
Yeah, I can't remember. I don't think you were the guy that called. We were doing a show. It was maybe a year and a half ago when that happened, right? It was a long time. It was before Fringe, I'm pretty sure. But some.
Oh, it was ages. It was about 2008, I think.
Yeah. Like, yeah, okay, so we weren't doing it that early. But some guy called in, and he was from the UK, right? And he's like, "Oh, the lorry, the lorry." I'm like, "What the fuck is a lorry, bro?" Apparently, a lorry is a truck. Thanks for translating your UK slang for us Yanks. Appreciate that very much. Yeah. You didn't say lorry, you said truck. It's a tongue twister.
Red lorry, yellow lorry. Translate really fast. Red lorry, yellow lorry.
Red lorry, yellow lorry. No, not fast.
Fast up.
Slowly, 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 and slowly, slower and slower. Oh shit! Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I think that once you start kind of putting all this shit together, and again, you know, the goo blender, well, what the fuck do you got? Basically, we got Skynet, right? The only thing we need to add is time traveling robots, and we're fucking there. I don't know.
All we need now is Ginger Midget, to quote Sherlock.
Did Sherlock say that?
Yeah, it's Robert Downey Jr. because it was like a messed up situation. He's like, all we need now is a ginger midget to like make it really strange, you know. I think that's what he meant.
Which is funny, not funny? I don't know. I guess that's the point.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I thought. It's got ginger sisters in that.
Yeah, exactly. You know. Oh, jeez.
Yeah. Racism.
Yeah, exactly. Racism. Oh, God. All right. So anyway, let's. There we go. What's up, Tam Bam? I never knew there was a show today. Oh, hell yes. Welcome, Tam Bam. All right. So anything? What else you got for us, Rohan?
No. That was about it. But you know, so of course there's a show. I'll say that. Who's the hardest working man in this business?
There you go.
Tell me that.
What's his name? Say his name. His
Mr.
name is
Strange.
His name is Robert Paulson. His name is Robert Paulson from Fight.
Oh, like it.
No, don't.
Oh man, I should change my name by default to that.
Yeah, why not? His name is Robert Paulson. Why not? Why the hell not? Okay, so Rohan here has a podcast. His name is Liam Martin, the famous Liam Martin, and it's called Exiled Minds. Check it out. Links in the description. Give this man some love. Brilliant stuff as always. Rohan, Happy New Year. Man. Thanks for chiming in, brother.
Happy New Year to you, bro. Thanks for being my friend.
Yeah, well, hey, thanks for being my friend. See, it goes two ways. My grandfather always said, the road goes two ways. And there's infinite wisdom in that one little statement.
I like the way he said that. I bet he said it like that, didn't he?
He
as well?
did.
I
Oh
like
my
it.
God, my grandfather was amazing. My grandfather was amazing. He was a storyteller, right? As like you never expected. Because, well, I got the gene, didn't I? I got the gene, didn't I? The road goes two ways. I think he said goddamn ways. The road goes two goddamn ways. There you go. That was Grandpa.
Was he shaking you when he told you?
Yeah, no. Because he was talking about something else. I'm sitting there and he's enjoying my company, but he's talking about some other thing he's agitated about. But yeah, the road goes two ways. Wisdom in that. You're the best, Rohan.
That's
You're welcome.
a t-shirt.
Yeah, right? That's a t-shirt. The road goes two ways with an alien on it. You're the best. Hang tight. You're welcome to stay as long as you like. Let's go to Jay. Jay in New York. What's up, my man? How are you? Welcome to Troubled Minds.
I'm great, Mike. A little chilly.
Yeah, oh, shit. You knuckleheads living in these wrong states. Y'all need to be down here in Arizona, Nevada, maybe West Texas. What the hell are you doing, man?
I'd much rather be welding on a Hanjin container tomorrow, making a little habitat for whatever reason.
All right, for whatever reason. All right. Fair enough.
Here.
Fair enough. Fair enough. What are your thoughts, man? We got all kinds of crazy shit that comes together on this weird paper. Self-healing invisible drone swarm robots. WTF, am I right?
Indeed. Just all of that. And then one of the things that kind of brought me to it through everybody's little bits on it tonight was the building materials that we're building stuff out of now. Like the tar paper that we used to put down, now we're putting down stuff called ice and water guard. It actually seals itself around the holes that you put in it through the nails and everything else like that. I mean, it's in the textiles. The foam that we spray in the walls, if you drill it up, it never really hardens completely inside. So if you put a hole in it, it kind of gums up afterwards. There's all these little things that we're using in the field now, when we're building things. And it just, I look at it and it's like, if you could utilize that in a spaceship or a robot or whatever, you really could probably do minimal amount of doing it. It was just like the thing with the drones, where the people are taking the drones and they're, linking them to their computer and they're doing the little midnight specials for Halloween or, Christmas or whatever, because they got little lights on them and they're making them dance in the sky. If you could really do some pretty cool stuff, I suppose, is a nice way to put it.
Nice, yeah.
Do over-the-counter kind of crap, you know what I mean? The drones, Christ, you can buy them for, $30 now that work on your iPhone. It probably wouldn't take much doing at all to link them all together.
Yeah. I think that was the point. Is that what DARPA was testing? Is if you could take retail drones and turn them into like a weaponized colony, right? So that was the challenge, right? But again, they don't need retail drones. They have their own fucking military drones, don't they? They don't need that shit. That's like theater of the ugly for the unwashed masses. That's not what they're doing. Like they've got like precision military drones that act in unison, like they don't need that shit at all.
But you could buy 100,000 of them for the price of half.
Well, that's because of my lovely government that just likes to burn money. But I mean, you're right. But then you need a really big program to run all that shit. But yeah, I mean, what can you do? What can you do?
I do. I agree with everybody that we're there. We see it, and I'm really disappointed that I had Godzilla and King Kong for my bingo. But I never thought that it would be invisible, self-healing drone swarms.
Right. But apparently it's a real thing.
How are you going to get away? How are you going to get away from that? We're done. We're not going to fight that.
No. That's more terrifying than Godzilla for sure.
Well, at least you can run.
Yeah.
You know?
From Godzilla you can run. Like that dude's got to stomp through all the buildings to catch your ass, but not these drone swarms. They'll fly around. You're wrecked.
Yeah.
And you'll never see him coming, by the way. You'll never see him coming.
Because they're invisible.
Exactly.
And even you got Jennifer on your side with her swords and stuff like that, and she whacks one of them so you can see it for the 2 seconds that it's healing. You're 1,000 more.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. And they just keep coming. They just keep coming. But again, I thought it was too hilarious that, in the sense of, well, 2022 and those Armageddon bingo cards turn into what? This inadvertently, I found the one article and it led down this whole cascaded rabbit hole of, by the way, everything is sourced that I'm talking about. And I'm not saying it all exists in one spot, but I am saying it seems like they're working on it. And if they're working on it now in public papers we can access without the academic paywalls, I would say that DARPA's been doing this for a very long time. Pretty wild, right?
I have to agree. I mean, if we're finding out about these things now and then people are actually writing papers on them and stuff like that, that means that the guy who actually developed the technology, he was developing the technology. He didn't sit down and write a paper. So the kid that was helping him out and going and getting his coffee and stuff like that wrote a paper about it. So that means he'd been working on it for quite a while in order to get an intern. You know, I look at these things that we know and that we learn about now are probably more than a little bit old. You know, what we're learning today is probably older than my kids.
Old hat. Old hat. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. 100%. 100%. All right. So if we're going to one up this ridiculous prediction of self-healing invisible drone swarm robots, I can't say it, drone swarm robots, you had Godzilla and, well, sorry, fail, not imaginative enough. What do you think beats this for 2022?
Oh my goodness. That's a tough one. Oh, wow.
Right?
What beats invisible drones or invisible self-healing drone swarms?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Drone self-healing
that thing from Alien?
Drone swarm maybe? Aliens. Exactly. Drone aliens. So add aliens to the mix and now we're talking, right? That would be Predator, wouldn't it? That would be Predator with some buddies.
Or the Xenophone.
Giant plasma spiders.
Yeah, giant plasma spiders. Now we're talking. Now we're in fucking business. This
can read your mind.
No, they feed on your mind. They feed on fresh neurons. That's right. Trope.
Right, exactly. And there it is. So my point is that the joke of the last couple of years has been all the conspiracy theories have come true. So we've run plumb out because they've all happened. And so it's like, wait, now what's next? I thought this sounded ridiculous, but we got plasma spiders that feed on your neurons, right? We got Bernays Sauce says interdimensional, like interdimensional spiders, plasma spiders that feed on your neurons. Now we're fucking talking. Start putting that shit on your bingo cards, guys, because the old shit, the old conspiracies, we've blown past that. Where do we go next?
After the last 2 years, no matter what we could imagine, isn't even going to be a drop in the bucket. You know, I mean, what we've learned and what we've talked about and what we've seen is nowhere near what we could possibly imagine. And it just seems that we're in for a really interesting ride, I suppose. You know, cool, we get to experience it. That was one of the things that I always used to say to people when we would talk about these kind of conspiracy theories. And it's like, what are you going to do when it's happening? It's like, I'm just going to be happy that I get to witness it. You know?
Exactly. Even if my ass is getting beat down by Predator 6.0 that's invisible, self-healing, and just whooping my ass for no apparent reason, at least it wasn't like, you know, at the boot of some, you know, goon squad. At least I got my ass whipped by Invisible Predator 6.0. That's kind of...
I told you aliens were real. I told you. As
you're getting your ass beat down.
I'm right.
Okay,
I'm dead, but I'm right.
Tam Pam says we should be called the "I Told You So" club. I'm going to add that actually to the after show chats. We're going to have a channel called "I Told You So" because that's so good. But I Told You So club, that's even better. Okay, so the thing is, right? So let's do it. So instead of self-healing invisible drone swarm robots, which are fucking real, by the way, we have this next thing. We're going to go plasma spiders. What was it? Help me. What was it? Feeding on your neurons. Interdimensional plasma spiders feeding on your neurons from the center of the earth, adds James.
Got it.
Put that on your bingo card for 2022, because holy shit. Oh, man.
The upside down just went downside up, bro.
Exactly. And twisty, like one of those those cinnamon twists with the, oh God, they're so good. Deep fried. Oh, my, sorry.
Fondant. Oh, chocolate.
Chocolate.
Getting hungry, Mike, huh?
Did somebody say chocolate? No, I'm just kidding. All right. I'm laughing too much. See, now you know when I'm drinking real maybe juice. Half the show is coffee, maybe juice for the second half, and I'm laughing like hilarity. I don't know. What do you think, Jay? What's your final dealio here as we finish this up tonight? Not the J-tro. Your final thought on what we're talking about.
That the articles that you posted today, the fact that that's actually real, is a bit disturbing. That why are we doing that? I always come back to that. Why, and then where does the money come from? And that goes back to why.
The missing trillions from the Pentagon. Trillions with the T.
Yes, the stuff that was in the basement of the other thing we're not allowed to talk about.
Yeah, there's a lot of things we're not allowed to talk about. If we're being perfectly honest.
All white gold.
White gold? What'd you say?
I said, do you mean all that gold that vanished mysteriously?
Oh, Fort Knox, how there's no gold in Fort Knox? Yeah, that's super hot, right?
Sure, Fort Knox.
We don't need that stuff anymore. It's all Bitcoin anymore. It's all vaporware. The second you unplug the servers, well, Mark Zuckerberg has the gold in his warehouse.
Actually, the person that actually has the device in their hand is the one with the gold, because that's what all the chips are made out of.
There you go.
This gold. The kids go around here.
There you go.
And they grab all the TVs and stuff like that off the curb, and they melt them down in acid while they're doing meth and get the gold out of them. It's a big to-do here.
Big to do. Always a big to do. A couple great comments before we got to finish this up. So let's see. Let's make sure. Good night, Sherry. Thanks for hanging out with us over on Rockfin. James says it all comes back to food. The two biggest words in the universe: why and if. And did somebody say chocolate? Tam Bam adds, so Apple became the first $3 trillion company, but they had their worst year ever in revenue. Isn't that odd? Definitely odd. Vaporware.
I'm going to say it. Taxes.
Taxes. It used to be that the only two actual things were death and taxes, right? Like the only two things you couldn't avoid. Well, now it's becoming we're making a troubled mindsism, and it's taxes, healthcare costs, and then death. You see what's happening? They're adding some bullshit to the journey. I don't like it. Don't fucking get me started.
To make the journey end faster. You can't leave anything to anybody else because they don't have to pay the appropriate amount of taxes on it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's a shell company in Cyprus, Jay.
I'm sorry.
Panama
that's how the pros do it.
Panama Papers. Say that again, Ryan.
Get yourself a shell company in Cyprus.
Oh,
easy peasy.
That's what I have to do.
Lemon squeezy.
That's what the pros do.
Will they cover my workman's comp?
That's what
they'll cover. Everything there. No laws there.
There you go.
Perfect. Where's the Cyprus place you speak of?
Exactly. One more amazing comment before we're going to get the hell out of here. A Night Stalker says, air-fried psychic squid from the hollow earth and a tall glass of maybe juice. That's some necronomanomenon type stuff. There we go. Now we're talking. Now we're in fucking business.
Ramaki, right?
Look. In the end, no matter how dark it gets, guys, don't stop laughing. Let's just laugh at ourselves, because why the fuck not? Rohan, anything else while we got you on here, brother?
Yeah, only just because Derek just piped up. I've got a little rap rhyme for him, but I'll keep it really short, just 4 lines. Is that okay?
Yeah, let it rip.
Just for Derek. Quick one.
Yeah, let it rip.
Just the back end of a rhyme. I'm taking poignant points and I'm making them all mine. I'm spending soiling green points, and with a pointed rhyme, I choose to underline the purported importance of the Night Stalker's water portals every fucking time.
Nice. Boom. And rattle the rim. Arrgh. Hell yes. Good shit.
That's awesome.
Fucking right. Rohan can rap. Who knows an Englishman that can rap? I do.
I do.
You're all in the club.
You're all in the club. Don't even think for an instant you're not in the club, because you also know an Englishman that can rap. And if you want to meet Rohan, by the way, he's a fine fellow. He's not just putting up a show for the camera, for the radio show. Come hang out in the Discord. You can meet Rohan, and he's a fantastic dude. Troubleminds.org. Click the Discord link. Jay here is in there. Myself, Dre earlier. Jennifer's in there. Nightstalker's in there. All the people you hear on this show. Joseph, we're all in there. Come say hi. Matt in California. Too many names to mention. Everybody's there. Come say hi. Come meet us. Come hang out. You'll see. We're not just a bunch of blowhard assholes. We're real people, and that's the way real people work. Jay, let's get the fuck out of here, brother. Let's do it. You got a J-Tro for us, I hope?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let me give you a little bit of music as we blow this MFer up, and you know the deal. Wait for the bass to drop. As we wait for the J-Tro, you guys know the deal. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 7 p.m. Pacific. Troubled Minds, which means God willing, we'll be back tomorrow. And I bring you what you've been waiting for all night, the J-Tro. See how I time that?
That's awesome. Don't try to be young. Just open your mind. Stay interested in stuff. There are so many things I won't live long enough to find out about, but I'm still curious about them. Betty White.
Yes, Betty White. Betty White, national treasure. They say that about a lot of people, right? But I think she legitimately kind of embodies that. Like, wholesome, smart, like, she never got dragged down into political mud. She was just classy forever. Classy and witty forever. And there's something to be said about that. Amazing choice, animals. Amazing quote. Go ahead.
She took care of animals. I mean, she was an awesome person.
Exactly. Once she became successful, she spent the entire rest of her life just doing great things for people, and that shows you the character of the person, right? Like, you can chase the Tesla forever, right? The Tesla, high-end Tesla, whatever the fuck it is, the Tesla SUV. But once you attain those things, if you just use them to be a dick and buy bigger swimming pools, you're just another dick, right? Like, why? Like, do something good for your fellow man. Yeah. Fucking right. Rohan, take us the fuck out of here, man. We got like a minute and a half or something. You got another rap for us?
I have, actually.
Rip it, buddy.
Hear me roar. My bars are so hard that they eat glass raw. The New World Order is forcing us all to be poor. The portions are meager. That's the kind of apple you give to Muslims that's weaker. Klaus Schwab said, the top tech we're all going to get is a Commodore Amiga. I think sometimes they might lie or send agents to disseminate statements like there's no blue sky.
Boom. Holy shit. Your mind is way too fast for mine. You need to write that down for me to appreciate it properly. But that's fucking fire.
Yeah, or slow it down.
Slow it down. My brain doesn't work like that. You know me. When I'm like, oh, fuck, what do I say next? I say 702-957-1037. That's what I say when I'm collecting my thoughts. All right. Let's get the fuck out of here. We usually
I'm still processing that.
Yeah, right? Yeah, same here. We usually, typically, after shows and even on the weekends, we hang out in the Discord. If you haven't joined it, troubledminds.org, click the Discord link. Come meet all these fine people. So many great folks that I've met this year. The previous year, we're just building an amazing team, and it's incredible. So come hang out. You got Tam Bam, you got all the folks. Come hang out with us. Come say hi. As we finish, it goes like this. Be sure, be strong, be true. Thank you for listening. From our troubled minds to yours, have a great night. There you go. This is where you give your falsetto for Daryl. All right, killing the stream in 3, 2, 1. I'm going to make a new channel called, what was that? I was going to make a thing called what? What was it? Who said that? It was brilliant.
How would you say?
What was it?
Tam Bam said it.
Tam Bam said, all right, checking. I Told You So Club. All right, so we're going to meet in the I Told You So Club. I'm making a new channel just so we could meet there. Thank you, Tam Bam. Killing the stream in 3,